Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! Here he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is a great. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich, Jones one, all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Fire! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the Papa Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, what we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, better with the bag and you love it. You want it top 10, we above it. Let's
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Oh, shoot. Let's get there. We go. Make sure I'm not too fuzzy. I don't have Jose on the 1s and 2s today. So let me know if this image is blurry. We can get that fixed. Thank you guys for joining us Wednesday, March 26th, 2025. Our first show post Texas. I'm sure every capper who is at Pubapalooza will tell you the first couple of days back in society are quite difficult. The body's in rough shape. Patience levels are low. Sleep is needed, and hydration. I tell you, the one spot in my life where expectations are exceeded constantly, every time, is when you meet low baggers. When you go to Pubapalooza, it's the one time where expectations are just constantly exceeded. And some of the cappers that, we talked about some on our Medicate Monday show before we were leaving, but there were some cappers that weren't talked about that were magic. Sharon Pulliam coming in from Camden. I'm just magic, like everything you expect in a friend, and also you meet these guys and it's like you've known them, for 20 years. Sharon Pulliam did not get the recognition on Monday. I was thinking after, on my way to the airport that he should have got a little more love. We had Slatsy roll through from Montreal and JD from Ottawa. People came from a long way away to be a part of what we're trying to create, the community that we have here at Pubapalooza, at Pub Sports Radio. And it just means more and more every year. I guess that happens as you get older too. These things just become more important and mean more to your life. And this group, gives me so much. It just gives me so much. And I can't believe it's over. I mean, it goes by so fast, and I can't believe it's over. So we're back in our homes, and it's time to get to work. So thank you to everybody that put out so much energy and time and money to travel to San Antonio, Texas. Thank you to Jeff Slaughter, who's the best host you'll ever find. He's just amazing. And Jose Bouquet taking care of any needs and any worries. The squad is just real. And thank you to Southtown 101. Southtown 101 in San Antonio, Texas, that takes such good care of us. So it's hard to believe we're back. So all we can do now is get that cash. Thank you guys for joining us. Happy Wednesday to all of you. We got Sir Mackey loves pie. Lakers -1.5 in his pocket. Lakers losers of 3 straight and 7 of 10. Justin McKelvey Clippers -2.5, and Nuggets team total over 114 and a half. I've already got that all copied and pasted. I got in a little early. It's hard to sleep. Man. A lot of just lying and staring at the roof. There's the nuke worker. Talk about another friend of ours that traveled a long distance. What a great friend of the channel, great friend of mine. So much fun to hang out with. Doing his thing on the bags. Of course, they played for hours and hours and hours out there. We were doing long shows inside. They were playing the bags out there for hours. So the cornhole champ nuke worker in the house. Dave Redling ready to get to work. Rich OINC said last night had Towns for 40 plus at plus 900. He had 24 at halftime. Ended up with 26. Dave Redling says a Hart triple-double is doable. There's Robert McCormick in the house. Billy Friedrich pig milk play of the day is in. Justin Edwards over 2.5 threes at plus 105. We got Series Business, Viper, and BT Moss. We got saturated, ready to go. Is that a hat endorsement of the franchise? No, but I did rock Billy Friedrich's hat. Let me know if I'm too blurry. I can't. My eyes are failing by the day. The LASIK surgery I got. Let me know. Let me move them. My blurry feel like I'm blurry, but I don't know. I think I lost a few years this past weekend. Billy Friedrich, I did rock Billy Friedrich's White Sox hat that he got me. It's a beauty camo White Sox hat. And I can't wear green because of the green screen. I am ditching it, though. Ditching the green screen. That's going to be going away here in a little bit. Get the old set back in business here. Nuclear says freezing my ass back in Canada. That was another problem. It was so cold when we came back. Even this morning, taking the garbage out, and it's like blue sky, clouds, a little bit of cloud, tiny whiff of cloud, blue sky, and snowing. Nate Dog 420 in the house. Saturated said I thought he was talking about Jose flashing his silver dollar pancake nips. That I vaguely sadly remember that. Steve G says, good morning. NHL playoffs are almost upon us. We have a great show today. We have Mr. Gogster waiting in the wings to cap this 4-game NHL card. And this is truly, and I can't stress this enough. Now, things have changed a little bit for me, but when I first went down to Costa Rica, the 2 weeks, starting with the beginning of baseball and then getting easier once 2 weeks it takes to get to NHL playoffs and then NBA playoffs, they stagger them a little bit. These are the hardest 2 weeks of the year. Tomorrow starts Major League Baseball. This is a calm show to get us back in business because these next 2 weeks are going to be a high wire act. And it's also very, very, very important in Major League Baseball. The weight of the analytics can start bringing you down. It's very important to get off to a good start. I've made some changes with my plan of action. This is my first year cutting out first 5 totals. And judging from prior years, that should bring me great success. We'll see how that pans out, obviously, as we track everything here. Billy Friedrich says yes, and it's not the Cubs for very good reason. Slats, he says, back from San Antonio, just an epic trick. I saw firsthand how Jose runs things. Dude is a relentless worker, and thanks to Slaughter and Jimmy. Yes, Jose, and also he's not that he's in a shell, but he's been coming out of his shell over the last few years, and a lot of people saw that on this trip. This was a great, great, great trip. 3 a.m. ready to get to work. Joe Todero, what another Joey T coming from a great distance to rock with us, man. You're not sure how the week goes, because it's a lot of a blur. There's a lot of boozing, a lot of, and gambling, and it's such a blur. But that's the feeling. The feeling I'm getting from everybody is they want to go back to San Antonio soon. So they're not going to wait for Pub 5. But if you talk to Slaughter, Pub 5 is going to be a big, big, big deal. A big, big, big deal. It's going to be, and we're going to do it every 5 years. We're going to do it up huge. So we'll be talking more about that. There's Kong's clips in the house. Glad everybody got home safe. That is very, very important. Kong, my man, can't wait till you're rocking with us next year. A 9 legacy with his action. Oilers money line, Bruins money line, Lakers -1.5. UC Irvine -4.5, and Raptors money line. So we have Gogster getting us started in NHL. Then Spoondog rocks with us for the NIT and the CBI finals, just 3 games of college basketball. Then we have the 3-headed monster in NBA. Judging by this card, NBA is the meat for our dinner. So 6 games in NBA, and again, the calm before the storm. The earlier this show ends, it's probably the better for all of us, because the MLB card is tricky. Now, one of the things that's interesting about the first little bit of MLB is that we don't have a ton of statistical info to go on, which actually does take a little bit of the work slightly away. Certain cappers care more about the exhibition stats, the preseason stats than others. I used to a lot. I used to care about them a lot. I found that was a mistake, but I am interested in them. The prep for the Major League Baseball card, the first 2 weeks or so, even the first month, is not nearly as difficult as it is once we have a sample size of statistics. There are times when I feel like I'm not smart enough for Major League Baseball. The analytics are so pure that and better than any other sport, all the other sports try to have the analytics like Major League Baseball, that you really can find out, who's been lucky, who's been unlucky, who should be valued higher and less. But that takes about 2 to 3 hours a game, at least 2 hours a game. And there's 15 games a day. And there's only 24 hours in a day if you're up the entire time. So it's a struggle. And the need to get off to a good start is really important because it makes that grind more enjoyable. We can get into all of that here shortly. Sir Mackey, Billy Friedrich, Jessica Easton in the house. Yes, I am back in one piece. Von Polo. We need Von Polo in the house. Wine Time Sports. What a guy he is. These guys are just, oh man, they exceed, as I tell you, they just exceed expectations. Gorky's got his action in Dimitrov, Pegula moneyline, and Cleveland State moneyline. We also have Taint. Taint play today is in. We're going to discuss all of that. We're going to discuss all of that. So let's get this up here for Gorky. Gorky, thank you, my friend. Thank you for your constant support, lifting us up. There are many cappers in the chat that do that for us, and it means the world. It truly, truly, truly does. Thank you for the kind words. 3M says, best damn sports betting channel on YouTube. We got Mike Wilkerson with Quentin Grimes over PRA. Grimes coming off being rested. Should be ready to go. Those first 2 basketball games are extremely difficult. All 4 teams are trying to lose. Where's the angle? It might just be Grimes. Wine Time says baseball season starts tomorrow, fellas. I'm so locked in and ready to go. Yes, Billy, I was rocking the hat day one of Paba Palooza. I don't get to rock it because it's green. I can't wear green hats or green shirts because of the green screen, but that will change. Thank you, Dave. Bo Jackson ready to get to work. Dougie Wise, free bands, play days, Lakers first quarter money line -115. Funny how the Lakers coming off a 30+ point loss, which I would always be on them. I still didn't know how to handle them. They're a tricky team, and I didn't bet them. And they of course cover the first quarter and then lose badly. Rich O says baseball should have started on Monday. All the downtime in basketball. We got to get to hockey right now. I'd love to talk about all of these comments. My dude in the house. Do we have any MLB futures talk? There is the futures talk will come out on tomorrow's show. Because Jose's not here with us. I'll be on the 1s and 2s, so it's going to be a tricky day here for us. And Major League Baseball, you guys know I've tried to cut out as much futures as I can. What's happened to me over the last 8 years of publicly doing this, it was a little different before. But what happened is my in-season futures in MLB have a much higher ROI than my preseason, and the VIG that is taken on the season-long win totals creates an environment where I can't have more than 3 or 4. But we'll be talking all about that. Slow Jams Arsenal in the house. We need you down in San Antonio. There's my guy, Lil Domo. What a great guy he was. I wish we had more time with Lil Domo, Chill Will, Uncle Mike. I wish we had more time with these guys. Truly, truly do. AM with his action. So we got to get to work. I can't keep our next guest because we don't have him for long. Now, we do only have 4 games, and there's so much I want to talk about and talk about the trip, but time is an issue. We need to get our next guest up and at him. Jojo Rich in the house, ready for MLB. Great to see Jojo Rich. Old E ready to work. Barry Smith, Islanders money line. I don't know what's going on with Barry Smith's action. Of course, you guys know I'm on the Islanders, of course. I'm fading the Canucks on this whole trip. Ross Pitts, Barry Smith also on the Bruins. Dave Redling on Blackhawks. I'm going to keep copying. I got to get everybody's action. Ronnie Loft in the house. I got to get everybody's action here. Dougie Wise action. Everybody's action. So I'm going to bring up our next guest. He can talk a little bit about how Pubapalooza was for him while I'm copying and pasting action. So please welcome from Bell Vegas. He is a fixture on our channel and at our events and beloved. Just beloved by the community. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Gogster in the house. Gogster, what's good, man? How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. A couple maybe years off the old life down there, but damn, it was worth it. Hell of a time. Shout out to everyone that went down there. It was a pleasure meeting everyone. Can't wait to 5, Jim. I heard some rumblings too of maybe 5, and it's going to be insane, guys. If you didn't make the first 4, you're gonna want to make this next one in about a year. But yeah, glad to be back happing hockey with you guys. Crunch time, about 10 games left for some teams. So this is when ice the rubber hits the ice, guys. This is when some teams I think are going to start to push away. We got some teams I think we got good angles on tonight. So also an AHL play. We got an AHL game tonight. I'm actually going to our jam, Cleveland Belleville, 7:00. Got a look on that one for you guys too. So good day for hockey.
It is a good day for hockey, and it's a great time for us because, we talk about hockey being the most honest sport, and it just means what you see is what you get. Players don't rest, and what you see is what you get. And when there's true and exceeding motivation, we're able to take it right to the bank. And last year was an enormous run that happened here for 2. It was a 2-week run, and it was 28 units in 2 weeks. And we can do that again this year.
Smooth.
You don't expect it. We don't sit here going, you have to earn it.
Right.
Just because it happened last year doesn't mean it's going to happen this year. You have to earn everything in life, and we will earn this I hope. Let's get to work. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Slatsy with Canucks Isles. Here we go. Canucks Isles 9-0 to the over at last 9 meetings. Canucks over in 6 straight road games. The over in Canucks games has been shocking, and that Devils game was shocking. Now, I was on the airplane. So right before my flight took off from Minnesota, it was my second flight, Devils had tied it up. And I was very confident. Mm-hmm. When I saw the outcome of the game and the situation that followed, I was extremely upset. But I think we can discuss, I think we can talk about why these things happen. These things aren't flukes. Gogster, welcome back. Thank you for all that you do for us, on screen and especially in these events. Your money in the bank. Let's get to work, my friend. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Vancouver Canucks 33, 26, and 12, 18, 13, and 5 on the road to the New York Islanders 32, 28, and 10, 17, 13, and 5 at home. We're at UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. Thatcher Demko, the Iron Lady's back. Now, I honestly wasn't sure if he was going to start today.
I don't know either.
I didn't know if the Iron Lady was going to be between the pipes. But
wow, okay.
They are saying that the Iron Lady is no, and should be. Lankinen didn't take over the job. Lankinen's numbers aren't very good. Lankinen is a backup quarterback at best in the NHL, or backup goaltender at best in the NHL. Sorry, I got quarterbacks on my mind. I was telling the dude in the taxi, he was like, in the Uber to Southtown, he was like, I can't believe Jameis is going to be the number 1 quarterback in New York. And I said, dude, take a breath. You do not pay your starting quarterback $8 million over 2 years. There's another quarterback coming. He's like, no, it's Jameis. It's Jameis Winston. I was like, just take a fucking breath, man. And then I told him about Southtown 101 and what we do here. And he's like, I'll be by. I'll be listening. I'll be by. And now when he sees the contract signing from Russell Wilson, now he's going to start trusting us a little bit more. And the quarterback's on my mind, obviously, right now. But sorry, let's get back to work here. Nate Dogg, Barry Smith said he's going to this game. Oh, Barry, that is so dope. I still haven't been to UBS Arena in Elmont. Like I was at the old home of the Islanders. I'd never been there either, unfortunately.
Be a good one.
And Sorokin confirmed for the Isles, says Slatsy. So let me just get this in here as fast as I can, copying and pasting. And I need to hand it over to Gogster soon. We got 20 minutes for 4 games here, but we also have AHL action that we want to know from Mr. Gogster. So Demko has not been very good this year. He's got all the excuses for why that is. 7-6-3, 2.87 goals against, average 890, save percentage, 1 shutout. I don't know whose hips were weaker, Margaret Thatcher's or Thatcher Demko's. And I mean Margaret Thatcher at 75 and Demko at 30. Demko, of course, 2 major hip surgeries. We haven't had a goaltender in the NHL who's gone through that. We've only had, and this is facts, we've only had a goaltender to go through that major hip surgery that he had. We've never had a goaltender go through 2 major hip surgery. He's not long for the NHL. Sorokin's been okay. 907 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Vancouver power play at 22.1%, penalty killing at 82.5%. As much as I dislike how Rick Tocchet's handled the characters in the room, the personalities in the room, and the power play, for that matter. But the penalty killing is strong, and the X's and O's are decent. Islanders power play is 12.1%, and penalty killing 72.1%. I mean, when I look at the depth chart for the Islanders, and I see Romanov and D'Angelo as your first pairing, I'm confused. And I think I guess I don't watch the Islanders enough to see why Pellick and Dobson would be number 2 and Pullock would be on the 3rd with Riley. I get, now Romanov, we saw him in 2021. He led the Habs in blocked shots. He led the Habs in hits. I mean, there's nothing with Romanov, but that D'Angelo can not play in the NHL all year, be picked up for a cup of coffee by any team in the NHL and instantly be your number 1 defense or number 1 line defenseman is confusing. The Canucks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 4-3 shootout win at the Devils on Monday. It was their third game of this 6-game road trip. And I told you guys, if the Canucks win any games on this road trip, it'll be an overtime or a shootout. That's the only way that they're capable of winning these games, and I believe that. They opened it with a 4-3 overtime loss to the Blues, which was impressive, followed by the 5-3 loss to the Rangers on Saturday, which we were all on at Paba Palooza. The Canucks continue to be without center Philip Hedl with the concussion. Hoglander and center Elias Pettersson. None of them are coming back, looks like, for the rest of this road trip. This is the final game of a 4-game homestand for the Isles, and the craziest situation here, Gogster, is they're 1 point out of a playoff spot. This team is 1 point out of it with no Barzal, missing defense throughout the year. I mean, that's how weak the bottom of the Eastern Conference is. The first 3 games of this homestand all went to the extra session. If you've been betting overtimes, you probably have been losing most of the year. Your ROIs. Now it's time to smash and grab. Stars played 4 straight overtimes. Islanders, they call them the Thailanders. This is the time of year where it's worth the overtimes. The need for that 1 point is desperate. And also the 2-2 going into the third period, you have to bet the under 6.5 if teams are going for the playoffs, because they just sit back. They just need that point. That point's of the utmost importance. This 3-game homestand started with a 4-3 overtime win versus Montreal, followed up with a 4-3 overtime 4-game homestand. Followed up with a 4-3 overtime loss to Calgary. And then last out, they lost 4-3 in a shootout to Columbus. They continue to be without Barzal and Semyon Varlamov. Look, I'll take the Belleville Senators over the Canucks right now if the Canucks are on the road. There's not a team in the NHL I won't.
We're playing good
fade the
hockey.
Canucks.
We're playing good hockey.
So the Islanders opened up at, a huge move. God, I was waiting for this move and waiting for this move and waiting for this move. I'm waiting. I didn't bet it last night. I'm waiting and waiting for this move. And then this morning, I'm like, okay, the move's not going to happen. I waited so long. And the move happened. Good God. The Canucks at 9:54 a.m., they were minus 120. I got in a little earlier for the Islanders. Sorry, the Islanders minus. I got in a little earlier, minus 118. They're now minus 106. These market moves against me with the knuckleheads. The same thing happened with the Devils game. This total's 5.5, heavily juiced to the under. Again, like Slatsy's stats say, I don't know how you can move on the under. Barry Smith says 4-2 Islanders. That's my expectation. Take it away, Gogster. Sorry for the long setup, but it's my knuckleheads. Knuckleheads Islanders, UBS Arena, Elmont, New York. Barry Smith going to be at the game.
It's gonna be a good one, Barry. Yeah, this is that line move's pretty wild. The issue is, Jim, I don't know who's starting in net. Demko or Lankin. I'm trying to see who it is, and Jeff Patterson here, the old beat writer. He hasn't exactly said anything about the game. Don't know if they had the morning skate yet, but this is going to be a tough cap when it comes to the winner, I think, in this game. Demko, he looked pretty damn good there. A couple big saves that last game against the Devils. Do we have maybe Demko starting to ride into some form? Possibly. Lankin in March, he's been okay, not that good actually. 873 save percentage, 2.91 goals against. On the other side there, Sorokin this month, Jim, 915 save percentage. He's the better of the 2 goalies right now, if it is going to beat Lankin. And I just see this being this is going to be one of those playoff type games. I think that under it's juiced heavily. Where I'm going to go with this game, guys, it should be a tight game early. I don't see one of these teams really allowing too many breakdowns early in this game. Power plays are not humming either. Islanders have been one of the worst this month too. So this is going to be a tight game. 11 games for Vancouver. They're only 5 points out of a wild card, surprisingly. So they're still pushing for something. And then Jimmy said it, 1 game out of a wild card spot for the Islanders, and they're coming off 2 losses. They've actually also, Jim, I just noticed they've at least tallied a point, guys, in the last 6 games too. So the Islanders are really starting to make that push. Kind of seeing it from Vancouver. The line is, I'm going to stay off the side here, but I would expect you talked overtime, Jim. I'm not going to bet the overtime, but I'm doing the old no goal in the first 9 minute, 30 seconds, guys, minus 110. I don't really see, like I said, it should be tight early. I could even see a draw off the first period, 0-0. I had a lean to the Islanders in the under 6.5, but I stayed off that one. Should be a tight game. Don't see any of these teams really. I don't see this being any of these teams winning by 2 goals. It should be a 1-goal game. Low scoring game here tonight, guys.
Mr. Gogster on no goal, first 9:30 at minus 110. I got the Islanders on the minus 1 line, which I still would have bet even at minus 106. I'm not fading the Canucks to pick up a unit. I'm fading the Canucks to get paid, and I don't care about a push. So I got the minus 1 at plus 146. I'm sure right now that'd be about plus 158 or so. Spooner in the house, going to be joining us shortly for NIT and CBI action. Stephen Harrison says, I like Dallas in regulation day for show. We're going to talk about that, and I want to talk about a lot of cappers here on the over, and Barry Smith have a great time at the game. I wish Gogster and I were sitting right beside you, buying
Good.
all the beers for the event. Let's move on to game 2 here on the dock at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the New Jersey Devils 37-28-7, 20-15-2 on the road at the Chicago Blackhawks 21-41-9, 14-17-4 at home at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. I have Markstrom versus Spencer Knight, and in that earlier game, Nate Dogg 420 saw that Lincoln was expected. So we'll have to see who's in net there. Markstrom has not been good down the stretch. As I've said over and over and over again, he's an average goaltender at best. A 900 save percentage. He's not been as good as the number 2 and the number 3 in my perspective over the last month. Dawes and Allen. Spencer Knight I don't know how good he is. He's got OCD. It's a tricky thing when you're a goaltender with such intense OCD that you need to take a leave of absence. And I have friends who have the same thing. It's a tricky thing putting on your equipment, having people talk to you before the game. It's just it's a tricky thing that he's dealing with, and we wish him the best. Devils power play 27.4%, Blackhawks power play 25.5%. That would make me want to bet the over. But I can't do it with these teams. But that's the power play. That's looking at that power play. I mean, I would bet the over, but I spent so long on this game, Gogster, trying to find a way to get in on the Blackhawks. Can I get in on the first period? Can I get in? And I couldn't get there. I just couldn't find a way. I couldn't find it. This line's moved all over the place because there was an initial move. I guess it hasn't moved much, but there was an initial move towards the Blackhawks. I guess I'm looking at the line chart instead of the numbers. I guess it's only moved a few cents in either direction, but I saw that this had moved towards the Blackhawks. Now we have a 3-cent move towards the Devils. The penalty killing for both squads are quite good. There's a Sweaty Butcher in the house. What a monster, man. What a great guy he is. And also, have you guys seen what he's doing on Medicaid money? That's got to be 5 straight, right? With Giddy over 18.5 points. Giddy goes for 26. Sweaty Butcher running hot. Kingu in the house. Blackdoor King. So both teams have strong penalty killing. The Devils coming off their 3rd straight loss, which does kind of hamper the idea of you have power plays over 25% and a 5.5. Well, you want to take the over. That does hamper it a bit. Devils coming off their 3rd straight loss, 4-3 in a shootout home to the Canucks on Monday. They were swept in their just completed 3-game homestand. They did not look good, except for Jesper Bratt, who looks phenomenal. They continue to play without Dougie Hamilton, Jonas Siegenthaler, and Jack Hughes. Only Hamilton could come back if they make the playoffs and wouldn't be available game 1, supposedly. Blackhawks snapped their 7-game losing streak with a 7-4 win at home versus the Flyers on Sunday. And I haven't taken advantage of what I told you guys about Tortorella on a team that's losing, is they don't want to come to the rink. Every Tortorella coach team, he hammers them. And now when they have nothing to play for, well, they don't want to show up and they don't want to make eye contact with that guy. They've lost, 6 or 7 straight. But the Blackhawks are playing without centers Jason Dickinson and Colton Dach. And they're also missing Alec Martinez. He missed the win over the Flyers. And this team is so weak defensively. Taking Alec Martinez out, you already lost Seth Jones. I mean, it's really hard to find a way to back him. This is game 2 of 5-game homestand. A Dutch boy fresh in the house. Great to see you, Dutch, my man. Steve G on Bertuzzi Point. Rez Ma back in business. Rez, I hope you have a great trip with the family. Take it away, Gogster. Devils, Blackhawks.
This is going to be a tough one. More I'm looking at it. Knight has been the goalie they've been kind of winning with in March. Jim 3-4, 903 save percentage. Another side, I thought it was going to be Soderblom. He's 1-2-2 with an 855, just not playing well. So with Knight going, I would expect them to score. They have been scoring with Knight. On the other side, no confirmation yet. Markstrom is breaking his stick after that last loss too. 1-5-1 with an 843 save percentage. Jim Markstrom in the month of March. Just not, that's just not getting it done. On the other side, though, Jake Allen, he's 3-1 with a 943. So if you got Allen going tonight, I really like the Devils. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards. It is going to be Allen. I don't see why not at this point. Markstrom's just not playing well. You need a win. So if that's the case, I do expect Allen to go. They look fine in the wild card, though, Jim, just because the Islanders in the Metro, they're 7 points back, so they should be fine to hold on to that 3rd spot, but they need to get some better goaltending right now. So I would want Allen to go, and I'm expecting Allen to go.
You are expecting Allen to go?
Yeah, I'm expecting Allen to go. Just I see why not at this point. He's played 7 games in Markstrom this month. He hasn't hasn't got the job done. And you look at Allen, 3-1 with a 943. Like a scheduling spot, I don't have their scheduling. They don't have a back-to-back tomorrow. They kind of need the win too. So they're missing those two defensemen there with Hamilton and Siegenthaler, and defensively they've looked really bad, especially in front of Markstrom. So I'm expecting Allen to go here, and so that's where I win this play, guys. I'm going the Devils on the money line. Now Knight has been playing well, and if it is Knight and Allen, I would lean towards the under. Or more I'm thinking about it. Even though the Blackhawks have been scoring, I got to think the Devils, just looking at what they've done in March, a lot more confident with Allen and net. So 5-on-5, you do want to see a little bit better 5-on-5, my opinion, from the Devils, just because that's where the Blackhawks are struggling. They're 5-on-5, they're really bad. So I do think the Devils get this one done and a bit of a bounce back from those last few losses. So give me the Devils on the money line here. If it's not Allen and it is Markstrom, I'd probably pull it. But I've already bet this, expecting it to be Allen.
So what is your official action?
It just right now, it's going to be a 2-team parlay, Devils money line, and then one of the games coming up here.
Okay, I like it. Okay. We have razor sharp picks in the house and Nasty Nate. I mean, you can back me up on this. Those are two gentlemen where the trip just isn't the trip without them. They're such quality guys. They're so much fun to hang out with. You know exactly what you're going to get. That's the thing about this group. Like, but they do exceed your expectations too. They're such quality guys. They're such mainstays of our community. And like, I could sit here all day waxing poetic on both these two guys. Nasty Nate, razor sharp picks, such a big part of our crew. And Nasty Nate, Nasty Nate, now 44. I'm a year older than him. Wasn't slapping water out of people's hands. Was just the kindest guy throughout.
The hospitality's just, it's unreal, guys. From everyone
softening
there.
Up? Is Nasty Nate softening up?
No. Nate's an OG, man. All you, like Nate, Razor, you name it, like Dabby Cab, everybody, Wine Time. The list goes on and on. Everyone, the hospitality is next to none, guys. You feel like you're a family when you go down there. So shout out to everyone. Too bad it's going to be a year. Maybe we can get together before then. But great time.
Barry Smith, yeah, no doubt. Barry Smith says 4-3 Hawks in a shocker. I've tried to get there. I tried so hard to get there. But big shout out to those two guys, man. They're just absolute money in the bank individuals that make us so much better that we get to hang out with them. Let's roll. And you guys don't know how incredible of a guy Nasty Nate is, because you just have him in the chat. You know, because he's not on screen. You guys don't know how money in the bank this guy is. So
he's an asshole.
He really is. Let's roll on. 10 p.m. Eastern, Dallas Stars 45-21-4, 18-14-2 on the road. The Edmonton Oilers 41-24-5, 22-11-3 at home. Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta. We have Ottinger versus Skinner. We think, but I thought with the market move towards the Oilers here that this Smith was going to be announced. So I was waiting. To see because this is a first of a back-to-back. The Stars play the Flames tomorrow night, and that's happened. So it's the Smith, must be the Smith. It just moved 20. It's moved 24 cents. It's moved 16 cents it's moved 14 cents since the show started. But it's moved 26 cents since 6 a.m, or 24 cents since 6 a.m. So it's the Smith for sure. It's the Smith. Sorry, I got some computer issues here. Okay, let's now. And I know we don't have enough time. Can we squeeze you up for like 3 extra minutes or so, Gogster?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Dallas power play and penalty killing. Edmonton's power play is at 25.7% here, and I'm gonna have to start my computer up again. It's messing with me. This is gonna be a problem. Maybe I'll wait for Spooner to be on it because this is a problem. Edmonton power play 25.7%, penalty killing 76.7%. Stars coming off their third win in 4 games, 3-0 at home over the Wild. They played 4 straight games and went to the extra session. This begins a 4-game road trip and is the first of a back-to-back. They play at Calgary tomorrow night. So now obviously the Smith is starting. I hope somebody can confirm that. The Stars will get Tyler Seguin back when they begin the playoffs, but the same can't be said about Heiskanen. So there's a lot of us who have Stars futures know that Heiskanen will not be available for the first round of the playoffs and could be longer. Nate Dogg says, I'm seeing Ottinger and Skinner expected. It can't be. I don't see how this could be a 20 cent move off of sharp action. I need to know that information. I should have waited on the Canucks game. The Oilers coming off their fourth win in 5 games, 5-4 at home over the Kraken on Saturday. Both McDavid and Draisaitl are going to be out all week.
Yeah.
So Draisaitl's missed the last 2 games, and McDavid missed the Kraken game. McDavid's not going to score 100 points this year. He's at 90 points right now. This concludes the 4-game homestand. What we saw Connor McDavid out of the lineup and them step up. They stepped up. That was their first game without Draisaitl and McDavid. They stepped up. We're watching them step up and play good hockey. When does it end? Does it end here? Does it end when they get on the road? They're not a playoff team without Draisaitl and McDavid. They're a bottom 6 team in the NHL without them. Is it here? Is it right here, Gogster? Take it away. Stars, Oilers.
I would think so. I was just checking to see if maybe Klingberg was back. I know he was day-to-day, but I got to think this is a Dallas spot. Just looking at their lineup, guys, this is like 4 lines. You're looking at both 4 lines. This is heavy Dallas advantage. Line's moving just because it's Casey DeSmith. The guy's got a .933 save percentage this month. Last month, he had a .911, 3-0. So this team's won 5. They've won 6 games with 5 games with 1 OT loss. So just because it's Casey DeSmith doesn't mean you should necessarily be fading Dallas by any means. Back-to-back tomorrow versus Calgary. So I think they get this one done. This is the spot where Dallas should be. They're going to, looking at the lineup, like they got to say, all right, they don't have Draisaitl and McDavid. This is a spot you got to take advantage. You can't just let Oilers there. And Dallas is a fast team too, and they're missing to McDavid and Draisaitl, who set everyone up. Looking at that game though, the other night, Nuge stepped up with a hat trick. Still barely held on to that game 5-4, a little late goal there by Seattle. So they're susceptible defensively, I think, too, without those 2 guys on the ice. Give me Dallas, guys. It's going to be the money line parlay with the Devils tonight, plus 136, 2-team banger in this game, Jim. I do think Dallas, they get this one done despite the back-to-back and Casey in net.
Well, I want the -1 on the Stars. Look, I don't care what they've been doing, and of course they step up in their first game without them both against a Kraken team that can't play defense.
Sorry, Jim, just quickly. Another thing, Oilers also have a back-to-back against Seattle tomorrow, so both teams, they got to play tomorrow too.
Another interesting part of the Nasty Nate transformation, and I think it's because he was making a lot of money. He was winning his bets. He was winning at the horses. He was winning at UFC. He was winning. It didn't matter. He knocked me out of the poker game. He was just winning. He was winning. The guy was winning. Maybe that was part of the reason that he was so pleased. Let's roll into our final spot. And yes, Barry Smith, we won't forget AHL. So you know what, Gogster? Why don't you talk to us about Bruins Ducks and roll into NHL? Then I will jump in. I'm going to start my computer over, so I'll just be listening. So why don't you take over and talk to us about your plan with the Bruins game and then AHL, and then I'll do my thing.
All right, guys. So last game on the card here, Bruins Ducks. Looks like Swayman, and I'm thinking it's going to be Gibson. They've been going back to back. Gibson had 1 game back since a little injury. Won that game 4-1 against Nashville. Both teams are not scoring on the power play. This is kind of a game like the Canucks Islanders, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Swayman hasn't looked that good. 868 save percentage, 2-6 this month. Offensively, they're just not the same since they made all those trades, guys. A lot of guys from Providence. Shout out to you there, Nasty. Providence Bruins. Call a lot of guys up there from that team. I'm not saying they're not ready for the moment, but it's just they're not ready for the moment. I guess you could say different pace of hockey. So this should be a lower scoring game. Gibson, like I said, did look good in the first game back. Even if it's Dolstol, I don't mind Dolstol. Could be a little bit better this month. They're not making the playoffs, the Ducks. Bruins, 10 games left, 6 points back in Montreal. I would lean towards the Bruins, if anything, a little bounce back spot here. Some injuries are starting to pile up, guys, for the Ducks. Mintyukov on defense, Lundstrom, centerman, Cogliano, right winger, Ross Johnston, Fabro's also out now. So they got a couple guys that are going to be banged up, not really going anywhere, the Ducks too. Should be a lower scoring game. No goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, plus 115 here. Should be a quiet one in Anaheim tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern here. Also, penalty kill has been really poor for the Ducks. I wouldn't talk anyone off Boston, though, here, Jim. I think Boston, I think they're live for a bounce back here. And if it is going to be the win, it's going to be a lower scoring game, like a 3-1, 2-1 kind of game. So I wouldn't talk anyone off the under here, but I'm firing on the no goal first 9 minute, 30 seconds. Want me to jump right into AHL now, Jim, or do you want to jump in? Okay. All right, guys, AHL, we're going Belleville, Cleveland Belleville tonight. They played on Sunday or Saturday. It was a 2-1 win. The goaltending matchup, though, it's going to be Jet Greaves, Jim. Jet Greaves versus Mayor Lane. And both these goalies are playing really well. And Jet Greaves, he's actually from Cambridge, Ontario. So he's been getting up for these games against Belleville. Was only allowed 1 goal in both games. I went to overtime about 2 weeks ago. The game on Saturday was 2-1. Wanted to take the over, but you got to think you're crazy. And I would agree there, guys. This should be a tight game. Luca Pinelli, though, up-and-comer for the Ottawa 67s. He just got called up, I guess just because he's in Ottawa and we were playing in Belleville. Going to be his first game, it looks like, for this Cleveland Monsters team, one of their top draft picks. So I wouldn't talk anyone off Cleveland, but where I'm going in this game, Jim, I think the goaltending is just too close. Playoff atmosphere here tonight in Belleville. I'm going with the draw. I'm going with a little bit of a long shot bet here, plus 320. Even first period draw. If your book has that, guys, I wouldn't talk you off that in the AHL tonight. It's going to be a tight game, just like the other two have been in the last few weeks. So a bit of a score here tonight, Jim, plus 320 on the draw between Cleveland and Belleville. Yeah, that's where I'm looking. There's a bunch of AHL tonight. I'll try and tweet some more action out if I have some more time tonight, but going to this one should be a good game. I like the draw.
I love it. I love it, Gogster. I'm going to roll into the Bruins duck spot after you depart, my man. Thank you so much for your time on these Wednesdays, my man. Please support Gogster on X, Gogster99. And his AHL has been so strong that we're going to be tracking it next season just to show how incredible he's doing publicly or on our show and publicly. So, Gogster, excellent work, my man. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Oh, thanks as always, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back Wednesday for some more hacky talk. I got the PGA action going on Thursday, coming up tomorrow. Houston Open. I'm going to have some plays there. I'll tweet out some matchup bets too for you guys. First round matchup bets have been hot, so look forward to that. Gogster99. Until then, guys, be good. Get that cash. See you Wednesday, guys. Cheers.
There he is, Mr. Gogster in the house. Here we go. Okay, I just restarted my computer, so I am back in business. I got a couple of things I need to bring up, but all I really need to do is get my pages up here. So I know Barry Smith is on the Boston Bruins. I know the Bruins just lost 7-2 to the Kings, and it was second half of a back-to-back. They lost 3-1 to the Sharks before. I also know that the Ducks are no longer in the playoff race. You know, they're 10 points out. The Blues have gone wild. So if this was 2 or 3 months ago, not even with the rosters the way they are, I would be on the Boston Bruins. Let's go over the line history here and let's talk about why I'm not on the Boston Bruins. And I truly, this is the time of year where I handle things a little differently. Now you could say, well, the Ducks don't care. I can tell you with the coaching for the Ducks, you got Flacco with the Bruins. He's evaluating talent. Cronin is slapping these guys all in the face before the hockey game. Cronin cares. Cronin wants them to win out. These two power plays are horrible, but the penalty killing is awful as well. If you go through the lineups of these two squads, with the injuries, you know, we talked about Mintyukov being out. Mintyukov right now is a third-line defenseman. When you go through every single one of the injuries that the Ducks have, and that was a problem. I had to go through all of them, their stats, how many minutes they're playing. These are not focal points of this squad. The Ducks have gone from -116 to -125. There's a reason for that. This team opened up their homestand with a 5-2 loss to Carolina on Sunday. It was their third loss in 7 games. They've lost 5 in 7. Their only 2 wins have come against the Predators. Those losses have come against good teams. And the Carolina game, that was 2-2. They lose 5-2. So I decided that this is the time of year. And this took me hours. I studied this last night. I sat with it. I was like, let's wake up to it. This took me a long time. Swayman's got an .892 save percentage. I understand from anyone who would sit here and say, look, this is a situational spot for the Bruins. They've been off for 2 days in Los Angeles off of a 7-2 setback. This is a young Bruins squad with these players up from Providence. What do you think they've been doing in LA the last 2 days? Grinding in the gym, practicing their ass off? I don't think so. Not with Sacco. Did I say Flacco before? Shit, I'll get the chat up. I hope I didn't say Joe Flacco. Joe Sacco. Sorry. Still a little messed up from our trip. Look, I'm on the Ducks on the -1 line. I'm going with the Ducks for the score. The Bruins are losing and losing and losing and losing. The Ducks have been a good home team for a little while. And if you go through their roster, man for man, the Ducks have a much better roster. Much better roster. Also, the Bruins only, they have passed for leadership, but and the Bruins are strong down the middle, which would tell you that the under is a great spot to attack. I'm a little nervous about moving on that because I don't trust the Boston Bruins caring and trying and fighting. I don't. So I moved on the Ducks on the -1 line, and I got a +130. I put that in at 365. It cost me a few cents. The offshore had moved the puck line to 200. That was already at 365. I'd prefer to send things in. The money line had moved to -125 offshore, so I took the -130 at 365 and sent it in at 365. So I'm on the Ducks on the -1 line. I'm on the Islanders on the -1 line. And the Smith should be announced any minute, and I'll move on the Stars on the -1 line as well. And the Smith being in net. Now, if this is just sharp action and it is Ottinger, well, then I'll have to sit with it a little longer. But that is our NHL breakdown here for Wednesday, March 26th. This is also, if you guys remember the run I went on last year, this time of year, it was taking the -1s. It was going for the scores. I'm going to do exactly what I did last year and what I do every year. And then in this game, you could say, well, where's the motivation? You could say, where's the motivation for the Ducks? And it's Cronin. This guy beats them up. He beats them up. It is time to talk college basketball. It is time. Oh, and I didn't put up the Dallas Edmonton breakdown. Sorry if I messed up with the graphics. I will do better. And Jose will be back in action for MLB tomorrow. It's time to move on to college basketball. And we have just the man for the job. He was dumb hot. We needed him with us because he was so hot in March Madness action. And now he's ready to rock with us right here live. We got Northern Ohio in the house. Please welcome our college basketball expert, the Spoon Dog, Morgan Spooner in the house. Spooner, what's happening, man? How are you?
Jimmy, how are you? How's the water taste? Is that something that's a little foreign after being in San Antonio? They don't actually have water down there.
You know what? There was more respect for water on this trip than in others, Spooner. There was more respect. So, yes, I'm hydrating to the best of my ability. I'm still off. I'm still rough. It gets harder as you get older. But it was absolutely great. Okay, I just got I had to restart my computer, so I missed a bunch here of action. So Joey B in the house. Great to see all of you guys.
So I have one question.
Yeah, what's up, man?
About the trip. So multiple Canadians went down. As a person that grew up in Vermont, I really appreciate real maple syrup. I grew up making it. I love it. I bring it with me to breakfast sometimes. Did anybody bring their own real maple syrup down there out of the Canadians?
No, year one, we sent maple syrup to our friend, Mr. Slaughter. No, the only thing that Canadians brought were ketchup chips. Ketchup chips was the only thing that we brought, which it wasn't a big hit.
I can see why. It's ketchup chips. That doesn't, I don't know. Maybe it's better.
Doesn't move the needle. Then Saturate says maple syrup. Where's the poutine? No, you're right. The maple syrup is incredible. Gavin Henry asks if I'm going to be playing Oaklawn tomorrow. I will if you are, man. The great Gavin Henry. For those of you guys who don't know, Gavin Henry is a horse trainer in Jamaica. And we've always dreamt of doing a Pubapalooza down in Jamaica at his track there. So shout out to Gavin Henry. Justin McKelvey says tailing Ducks. And AM says this is a Bruins spot. Laughing. Both teams are coming off the loss. Slide says Bruins 0-6 last 6 games. I can understand why Barry likes the Bruins. And I can understand why Gogster said that about the Bruins. But look, I'm going to stick with the better teams and keep it simple this time of year, which is probably why I'm going to be on the Stars -1. If I can hear from anybody, if they know who's going to be in net for the Dallas Stars, that would be helpful. All right. Spooner, talk to us about how hot you were throughout the last week in college basketball, because I don't think everybody knows.
So Friday went absolutely stupid wonderful. I went 6-1 and followed it up Saturday, nice 3-1 day. Sunday was terrible. I gave most of it back. I went like 0-5 on the bets I had. Had to place a couple of them live to get some money back. So that wasn't great. And just kind of sitting with it this week, getting ready for tomorrow's action. But just Friday was really, really needed. Every bet just continued to cash. I really appreciated that. Sometimes you put all this effort in and you just watch games that you cap go perfectly, just end 1.5 points off the wrong direction on a last second call or a shot that didn't really need to be shot. And it's so frustrating. So it's fun when it wins. Excited to hit back this weekend. It's going to be great. And baseball's right around the corner. It's a great time of year. If you're a capper, you got to be mentally tough. You got to continue to be disciplined. No bets more important than the next. But definitely fun time. I'm excited for today. There's a couple spots. This Illinois State spot. There's only 2.5s here that I see right now. Bet365 is one of the books that I use. I'm not sure if you're supposed to say that on the mic.
365 is all good.
I can't find a Illinois State line at all there. They're normally one of the only books that gives me a 2, and I really want a 2 in this game. If you look at Cleveland State, throughout the course of the year, they've really relied on just 2 players in Dylan Arnett and he's 6'9" and he's from Chicago, where Illinois State is close to, and he's 6'9", 220, and Illinois State's best player is Chase Walker. He's from Ohio, Columbus, the capital there, and he's 260. This guy is huge. He had 28 points in the last game. Just amazing player. I was looking to see if he got into the transfer portal, and when he made his announcement not to go in the transfer portal, he was doing it in a brand new 2025 GMC pickup truck that the school had just handed him for NIL money. And you can tell this Illinois State team is really focused on winning basketball. And Chase Walker could go play for Columbus right now, Ohio State. And I think there's a reason he's at Illinois State. It's because he wants to win. And this time of year in Columbus, you're not playing basketball. That's not what you're doing. So I'm on Illinois State once I can find a -2. They played some close games this year, and they've won a lot of them. I think those 2 points could come down to it. Cleveland State, on the other hand, they haven't played a lot of close games. All their I think they either win this game or lose by 5 or 6. And I don't think they find a way to win this. Illinois State has so many good shooters. Cleveland State, without Dylan Arnett being able to be a difference maker inside, I just don't think it's a spot for him.
Let's set this one up because you're right about Walker. He's been absolutely dominant. I think I don't have it in front of me. I believe he went for 27 last game. I was going over on the Illinois State website about the 20-point games that he's amassing and how good that he is playing. Jeff Slaughter in the house with his action here for the NIT, which we'll get into right after the CBI final. We don't have cash flow information for Redbirds Vikings. All we have to really go on is how these teams have been playing. And they've been playing very well. This is the third game in 4 nights for both. Illinois State won 78-70 over Presbyterian. And then the win over Incarnate Word was impressive. This team was down at the half. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well. They didn't do much to appeal here. This was a 10-10 team in the MVC this year that has gotten hot at the right time, is playing their best basketball. You could say the same thing about Cleveland State. They've won both of their games by margin. It's 88-73 over Queens. Again, shout out to Barry Smith with the cash he's been making off Queens this year. And then taking out Florida Gulf Coast 72-65. Cleveland State was just a game back of Robert Morris in the Horizon League this year, tied with Milwaukee. You will get a 2, I believe. I believe you will get a 2. Newkirker says, why not just play the money line if you like Illinois State? Right now, we've had a 4-cent move towards Cleveland State. And when we get to the total for this one, we have a 141.5. It's minus 110 to the over. It's not moved. The total just came out. So I can understand why you're on the Redbirds. I can understand the momentum they have and the excitement that they're getting. Ross Pitts liking the Vikings here. Newkirker liking the Vikings. So, and my dude says, where do you get a -1? Never can find it. You have to build it yourself, my dude. We talk about that often. We have the -1 calculator. I'll get it here right now for you. I like your spot here. I think it makes sense. I do think you'll get it too. I think that you can be patient.
To answer the question, I'm looking at a lot of minus like 140 action. That goes beyond the threshold of bets I want to take. Just in the long run, if you're playing minus 140s, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out. You got to be so successful with that. I'd much rather get this juice down. I think that's just too much to pay.
I agree. I think it's too much to pay. Jerry Davis says if you put 75 on the money line, 25 on the puck line, then you're essentially betting the -1 line. I've been saying for years why not just get the -1 line? Why not put yourself in this? I mean, it's just simple. We have the Z code system right there. 75-25. It doesn't work. I guess the closer you could get to it is if you were, let's say, instead of talking about $100 bet, if you're talking $125 bet and you went 75 on the money line and 50 on the run line, that's a much closer -1. But just make it right here, I think. But I hear you, Jerry. I like it. I'm interested in backing your Redbirds here. What lineup? Let me ask you this, Spooner, before we move on to the NIT. What lineup is more prepared for a third game in 4 nights? What lineup is deeper or capable of handling this type of rest situation?
So this Cleveland State lineup, there's a few good players here. Tevin Smith, Dylan Arnett, guy I can't pronounce his last name that just went crazy a few nights ago. And outside of those 3 guys, I don't see the scoring ability from anywhere else. Illinois State, you heard me mention Chase Walker. He's just an animal on the inside. I expect him to be an NBA player. He's the only guy on this court that I expect to be in the NBA. What he does is he opens up shooters, and Illinois State is full of shooters. They didn't shoot particularly well yesterday. They also had an extra day off. Cleveland State's playing three days in a row. Illinois State's playing 3 out of 4. I think Illinois State has the ability to score outside of Chase Walker. So if Chase Walker doesn't have a good game, what he does is he opens up spacing on the floor for these players to get really good shots. So if Cleveland State's going to try to double Chase Walker because he's so big and Arnett physically can't handle him, if they try to double him every time, what that does is there's people around the court. You just 1 pass, 2 pass, wide open shot in the corner. And now you got a guy that's doubled that is likely going to get over the back, kind of fouled as he tries to go up for a rebound over and over again. He just creates such an issue for Cleveland State. They don't have a response for it. I don't know. There's a path to victory for them. Maybe he gets in foul trouble early, sits on the bench, and Illinois State's all their shots don't go in. But the shots didn't go in yesterday. They're a really good 3-point shooting team. I expect them to go in today.
I also think the line is very telling. We've seen, what Cleveland State did in their conference compared to what Illinois State did. To put Illinois State minus 2.5 is a sign saying, people are going to want those points and want the plus money.
On that note, Missouri Valley Conference is a better conference than what the Horizon is. I think Cleveland State was probably one of the best teams in the Horizon. KenPom has Horizon ranked 16th out of 31 teams, and Missouri Valley ranked 11th out of the 31 conferences. And that Horizon League, Robert Morris ended up getting in there. They were one of the luckiest teams in basketball all year. Not that great. I thought Milwaukee probably was going to win it. A Lundy coach team. They were really good at home. But I mean, the team, the level of competition wasn't there. The Illinois State, every game they played all year long was an absolute battle. And maybe their record doesn't look as good, but when you're playing Drake in Northern Iowa, like these coaches are going and taking better jobs at bigger schools. The level of competition there is tougher. I think you see it when Illinois State played Ohio. They were a really good team in that same area as Cleveland State, and they won by 10 points. That Ohio team was really good this year. This is just an Illinois State team I trust a lot, well coached. I think it's a good spot for them.
I love it, Spooner. Let's roll on to NIT action. We have Pub Sports TV in the house, our new 24-hour TV channel, which we'll be talking about here a lot over the next little while. We have a video coming out for it and a bunch of new information on our new channel, Pub Sports TV. Let's roll into the NIT NIT quarterfinals here. And let's get Slaughter to get us rolling here, who's been running very, very hot. Let me just move the graphic over to our first spot on the board. These NIT games are extremely fun. So we have Kent State and UC Irvine Moneyline Parlay. We also have the Taint Play of the Day coming up here shortly. Oh, sorry, that was my fault. I pressed off the wrong thing. So let me move over here. And okay, let's roll. So we have in both of these games road warriors. What Kent State and UAB have done to have this opportunity has been very impressive. And now they go play two teams who have been phenomenal at home throughout the season. We start with Kent State Golden Flashes, 24-11, 10-5 on the road at the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, 24-11, 16-1 at Gentile Arena. Phenomenal season there. And we'll say the same thing about UC Irvine. Let's get into the line history and set this one up. The Taint Play today is our next game. It's not this one. We have Kent State right now +5 at -109. They opened up +5 at -108. So we've had a 1 cent move towards the Golden Flashes. Let's get into the total here. We have a 143.5. It's -113 to the under. This has dropped from 144.5. We've dropped a point. We have cash flow information here for this one. Oh, and I should have said this about the Illinois State spot, is that we do have the money line info there. And I should have said that. I apologize. It's 82 and 87 to the over. But right now, it looks like the spread's moving to 2. But on the money line, it's Illinois State being bet. They're not taking the points. 67 and 74. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here we have 62% of tickets, 64% take the cash on Kent State. 22% of tickets and 68% cash on the under. And the market has followed suit and dropped it a point. Kent State went into St. Bonaventure and crushed them, 75-56. Then they went to Stanford and beat them in a close game. That was an extremely impressive performance. Now, Loyola Chicago has had impressive performances too. So there's no, but Kent State was 7.5-point dogs. They were up 9 at the half. They're playing clean basketball. They're attacking the boards. They're shooting the ball well, especially from 3. They were full value. Loyola Chicago just squeaked by San Jose State, not a very good team. And obviously that was an impressive victory against the Dons, where the Dons, trying their hardest, playing their best basketball is up to the Dons were up 20. Dons were down 28-15 early. They just didn't seem to care that much. But again, that's sort of a eye test thing. I don't know if it's fair to say. Kent State were third in the MAC this year, 11-7. Loyola Chicago was third, tied for third with Dayton in the A10. Take it away for us here, Spooner. Golden Flashes, Ramblers in Chicago, Illinois.
I think this is one of those trap spots. I initially look at this game, and I think everybody probably thinks the same. Loyola Chicago just walks away with this game. They win it. This is a nice little money line home spot for them. It's March, Sister Jean. This is a team that's performed well all year at home. I don't think they have a loss in conference or anything. And then you look at it, you got an A10 team versus a MAC team. The A10 is a better conference than the MAC. There's just a lot of things that immediately make me want to go to Loyola. Really well coached team. Valentine, I'm not sure how much longer he's going to stay in the A10. He's probably going to move to a power conference school. He's probably already rumored to be moving that way right now. And then I look at this Kent State team that I've watched play a lot this year. They're built to win right now. It's 7 seniors on this team. They really wanted to go further than what they did in their own conference tournament. And I think they're showing that to you right now. I don't think a lot of people expected them to win versus Stanford. And they won that game, that same Bonaventure game. They looked really good. What Kent State does is they play really good defense. What they don't do well is shoot the ball. Sometimes the shots just don't go in. Loyola Chicago plays good defense, and they have that same issue where they don't shoot the ball that well. And when Loyola played the best teams at defense in their conference this year, they didn't beat any of them by 6 points, enough to cover the spread. I think if you look at those games, the really good defenses, the George Masons, the VCUs, even teams like Dayton, they weren't able to put away. Dayton had a really nice defense, and that 76-72 win at home, maybe that's Kent State game kind of falls in that same 4-point range. And that's why I already moved on Kent State. I got the +5. It's -110 on Bet365 right now. I think they're live on the money line. I think a lot of people are just going to hit that Loyola Chicago -200 or -190, whatever it is. Put it into a parlay, something else they like, and just expect it to win. It's too easy to take it. If Loyola was going to win this game, I think this spread would be larger than what it is. And I think a lot of people don't expect Kent to come out here and win, but they got a chip on their shoulder. Senderoff is a really good coach in his own right, and he's got a lot of seniors, 7 of them, that all want to go out with a really good taste in their mouth on their NCAA careers. I think there's 3,000-point scorers in this Kent State team. Loyola Chicago, their biggest inefficiency when they have issues is they just can't find a bucket sometimes. And I think Kent State just has the ability to keep this closer than the 5.5 game that the line's listed at right now.
You know, I like the look. It's almost like a Kent State plus the points, Loyola money line, or you know, I get it. We have Ron Crawford coming in with Kent State +4.5. NHL play today, Anaheim Ducks. Shout out to our guy Ronnie Crawford. Jerry Davis says you don't want to make a living fading Loyola at home, but if you get enough points, I like that look here. And we have Slaughter on him. Jerry Davis on Loyola and the under 145 as well. Let's roll in to our final spot here before NBA. I had no idea that there were not all dress chips in America. I had no idea. This is the first I heard. They will be on the menu next year. I had no idea. I like them way better than ketchup chips. I had no idea. Billy Friedrich, this is an important point. We have Loyola Chicago 16-1 at home and 8-8 against the spread. 16-1 at home, 8-8 against the spread. So it's a very interesting situation. I mean, what you could do is you could roll Loyola Chicago with money line as a parlay piece, but
isn't that what the books expect you to do? Is Kent State money line the big value play on the board today that we're just kind of grazing over, that it just happens, the chip on the shoulder? Like, if you put Stanford versus Loyola Chicago, I think most people are not expecting Loyola Chicago to win that game.
Let's stay focused. The chat is on one today. Let's stay focused here. And let's roll into our next spot on the board. The final college basketball game today. We'll have Dabby Cab and others rocking with us in college basketball tomorrow. We have such a huge card tomorrow. Get ready for a long one. This is the calm before the storm. A Man Bear Pig says, I like Spoon's take on this. Kent State could be it. Let's talk UAB, UC Irvine. And we have come to the taint play of the day. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice, OG low bagger, taint in the building. Taint play today, and this is quote unquote from our Matty Ice UAB money line tonight. Says, and if you can find it, UAB to win the NIT. Says this team is the best player in the NIT and one of the most dominant players in all of college basketball that no one is talking about in Yaxel Lendeborg. UAB had a really slow start to the year, which most likely cost them an invite to the big dance. I needed to see their motivation in the NIT, and they have it. UIB is the play. The UAB Blazers 24-12, 7-5 on the road at the UC Irvine Anteaters, 30-6, 12-2 at home at Brent Event Center in Irvine, California. UC San Diego made me look bad, and obviously that affects the way I've been watching UC Irvine, who are good all season long and great at home. 12-2 at home. A UAB beat two good basketball. I mean, it depends sort of how you judge these teams, but I was very impressed with UAB beating St. Joe's and Santa Clara, both by 4 points in tough games that came down to 2 possession spots. UC Irvine beat Northern Colorado by margin 82-72, and then beat Jacksonville State 66-61. UAB 13-5 in the AAC, a game back of North Texas and 3 back of Memphis. And UC Irvine 1 game back of UC San Diego. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have first high total. Highest total of the 3 games, 158, but this is dropped from 160. We've dropped 2 points here. We get to the point spread for this one. We have UAB plus 4.5 at minus 114. They've taken 6 cents of movement. We'll get to the cash flow here for this one. We have 70% of the tickets and 67% of the cash on UAB. Public is on them at this point. We have 35% of tickets and 62% cash on the under. Take it away for us, Spooner. Blazers, Anteaters in Irvine, California.
For me, this is a UC Irvine spot. I haven't moved on it. I was kind of looking at the line at -5, and now it's gone down to -4.5. And I think a lot of people are on UAB. I think they look at this and, like you were talking about, that UC San Diego spot kind of changes people's opinions on some of these big West California, like UC Irvine. UC Irvine's really well coached with Russell Turner. They had a really good shot to make the tournament in their own right. I think UAB, I think Andy Kennedy probably is one of those coaches that is looking at a bigger position, but I don't necessarily know why. He's never won the big games. Year after year, he comes up short whenever he makes the big dance. Lost all 3 games to Memphis this year. Couldn't win on the road in Tulane or East Carolina. To open the season, I watched this team play Vermont, and Vermont went and into UAB, and they won by 4 points. They had that game open by 20 at one point, and this wasn't a good Vermont team. They lost to High Point, another really well-coached team. Illinois State, like we already talked about them today, a well-coached team. Arkansas State, that's one of those Alabama assistant coach teams. Anytime he's running into a really good coach, they lose the game. UAB has more talent than a lot of these teams. They certainly have more talent than Vermont and High Point and Longwood. That's embarrassing losses. So UC Irvine has got to live in California for the last month. They haven't lost California. UAB is just on a jet going everywhere. Maybe they didn't have to get on a jet this time because they were already in California. Maybe they took a bus, but they've lived on the road. I think UC Irvine just is that pitcher that just keeps to get pitching at home. He's really comfortable. everything gets in a routine. You got Russell Turner, a really good coach. The check marks just start lining up for me on what I want to see here. UC Irvine, all their players that have been there throughout the course of the year are still healthy. When it comes down to UAB, it's can Lendenborg, Yaxel Lendenborg, do really well? Can he do something on the court that's going to allow UAB to win this game or stay in it? And he's an NBA guy, probably projected to go into the first round, early second. And I think he's running into just a much better player, a guy that's 7'2". He's not as athletic, but the big man for UC Irvine, Leachton, is just a really good basketball player. And I think through and through, this UC Irvine team's a better team. I think they prove it on the court tonight. I don't think 4.5 is too much to lay, but I kind of want to see where the public goes with this line. I think it might continue to go down. And at some point in time, I expect to find myself putting UC Irvine on my card today. But all I've moved on so far is Kent State. I'm really hoping to find a -2 with that Illinois State.
I love the breakdown. Waiting on UC Irvine. Public here on UAB Blazers, including Taint. So let's review action for Spooner. Spooner waiting to get the 2 here for Illinois State Redbirds. It's going to be real interesting. I'm looking forward to get the side information, cash flow, because at this point, you have to think that I would guess when this comes out that 70% of the tickets are on Cleveland State plus 2.5. That's the only reason why it's moving 4 cents towards Cleveland State, with money line bets being predominantly put on the Redbirds. We'll have to see. Then we have Spooner on Kent State plus 5. Again, I think it's so crucial to combine the Loyola Chicago Ramblers 16-1 home record with their 8-8 against the spread record. Thanks for Billy Frieder for hooking that up for us. And then we have UAB, UC Irvine, and waiting to see what the market does. Waiting to see what the market does. Now we have the Nuke Worker on Loyola by double digits. And of course, Jeff Slaughter's got the Kent State plus 5.5 and UC Irvine money line parlay. Spooner, my man, there's still college basketball afoot. And we're looking forward for you to be a big part of our Major League Baseball season here on Betting with the Bag. Excited about that. Excited for everything that you've done rocking with us, man. It means a lot to us. And can't wait to rock in person at Pubapalooza 5 as well. Please support Spooner on X. I'm going to pop his X handle here in the chat. Spooner, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show before we get into NBA?
Just good luck. Everybody have a nice day. This is going to be a great weekend of college basketball with the tournament continuing. I hope everyone has a blast. Enjoy it. Good luck.
There he is, Morgan Spooner in the house. Spoons Bets. Support our guy. Pop this in here right now. We're so excited to see how everybody hammers Major League Baseball this year. Of course, everything will be tracked and up. The reason why it's not up right now is just because our guy Jose not in action with us. Spooner, I will talk to you soon, my man. Get that cash, buddy.
Talk to you soon, Jim.
There he is, Mr. Morgan Spooner in the house. All right, it is time for the meat and potatoes on our Wednesday, March 26th card, and it is the association. And this is a fascinating breakdown. We got a best bet from BJ in. We got a ton of action here. We got Stacks plays of the day 1 and 2. We got the Pig Milk play of the day. We got Mike Wilkerson's action. We got the Free Band play of the day. We got VP's action. By the way, Rich OINC sitting on UC Irvine plus 900 to win the NIT in his pocket. That's a nice spot to be in. We got Dougie Wise's action. We have a ton of action. So keep throwing out all of your action in the chat as well. Billy Friedrich, by the way, on that first half under 75.5. Also, there was a lot of videos taken at Pubapalooza, and we're going to start airing them. But I need Jose to be back for that on the 1s and 2s. But your first guest of the show, there was a doppelganger that Nasty Nate thought was Billy and was talking to as Billy. And the video of that is Money in the Bank, and we will be airing that video. It's some of the funniest video footage that we have. Brizzy was magic. He was magic. Both of our next 2 guests were just so much fun at Pubapalooza, and class acts and great members of our team, man. And I can't say enough good stuff about these two guys. So let's get rolling into NBA. Let me move this off here. We don't need the UC Irvine action here. Let's get this off and let's get ready for NBA. Please welcome from South Jersey, our guy and yours, star the Locker Room Talk podcast. A lot of people asking when that's going to be this week as Mills is off to Japan right now. We will find out here from our guy, Mr. Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you?
What up? What up, Jim? Glad to be back in action. More importantly, glad to be back on FanDuel. Love Texas, love San Antonio, but fuck, man, Bovada is fucking ridiculous with these player props. Like, I bet a 5.5 line last night on Jimmy Butler's rebounds. It was -150 on FanDuel compared to Bovada at 225. That's just crazy to me. Glad to be back in a legal gambling state. But, man, the SA was lit this past weekend. A little bit pissed. It was the opening weekend of March Madness, as, like, the opening weekend of March Madness is usually business and work, but we did have some fun. It's really this weekend. That's really the weekend that we should have really went down there, Sweet 16.
Well, that is what Guillermo is hoping, because this is the second year in a row that he's had to miss the anniversary of him and his wife to come rock with us. So he's asking for week 2 next year, hoping for week 2 next year. And shout out to Guillermo Zertucci and the fam. Emilio is such a mainstay, but now, Fred and Frank becoming mainstays too. The whole family, just so much fun. They were 5 deep rolling with us, and shout out to the Zertucci family. And this just in, by the way, next year, Elijah Zertucci will be off the ship. He's going to be able to, schedule is going to work. He'll be off the ship, and he'll be rocking with us too. So that means we need Caden Allen, of course, unless he's in a monstrous golf tournament, back-to-back tournament victories for young Caden Allen. So that next level of low bagger coming up fast. Let's bring on our next guest. And again, this man with money in the bank throughout this trip, on screen and off screen. It was so funny when we were making fun of him for not being there on the starting 5. And he was like, I don't know if he was just like, he was like a minute with it. We made fun for 90 seconds and he just showed up in his chair ready to rock, man. This guy, he's the real deal. Please welcome our guy, Wine Time Sports. Wine Time, what's good, man? How are you?
What up, fellas? Good to see you guys again, man. It's been too long. I was just with you guys over the weekend. I miss y'all already, man. It was such a good time kicking with you guys in San Antonio. Like I said to you, Jimmy, the best part was meeting everyone on screen that I hadn't got to meet yet, people in the chat. It was such a blessing to have like a kind of family that we have down there, man. It was such a good time. I can't wait for next year.
Yeah, man. I can't wait too. There's Joe T in the house. So, Brizzy, we do need to know when is Locker Room Talk podcast? Everyone's asking about it. I know we were late. We dropped it in Texas last week. Do we know when it is this week?
It's supposed to be 8:00 p.m. tonight, but the real hurdle is our guy Big Show. Feel bad for him. Came back from Paba Palooza to Michigan to all of his electricity being out, and the power is supposed to be back on at 2:00 p.m., but we don't know how the Wi-Fi will be working. And the reason why we need Big Show is because it does all the graphics and stuff like that. So unless you want to hear us, me, Joey, and TC just talk on the screen with a background with no graphics or anything like that. So we hope 8 to 9:00 p.m. tonight, but it's really not in my hands with that one.
All right. No, that's important info. Shout out to Big Show. I hope that can get taken care of. Our guy Big Show, another Money in the Bank capper. Nice to have a professional poker dealer down there with us. And we're training Jose. We're in the process of training Jose, and he wants to do it. So there'll be nonstop poker action as we are all together. All right, let's get to work, fellas. We have a 6-game NBA card, and it's time to get that cash. And these first couple games are tricky. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Washington Wizards 15-56, 8-28 on the road at the Philadelphia 76ers, 23-49, 12-22 at home at Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It comes to no surprise to cappers that both these teams come in 0-5. These are the last 5-game stats here. Washington 0-5, second fastest pace in the NBA, 102.40 possessions a game. Much like the Raptors, who we will talk about next, who are playing at just about 101.5 possessions a game over the last 5. Both teams are shooting the ball so poorly. Their efficiency is so weak. The Wizards are shooting 43% from the field and 32% from three. And the Sixers, who rested Quentin Grimes last out, we've already heard from Mike Wilkerson that he's on the Grimes over points, rebounds, and assists in this one. Let's set up Grimes being back in business here. Sixers 0-5 over the last 5, 99.23 possessions a game. That's 13th in the NBA. Shooting 45.2 from the field and 37% from three. Much better. So for these first two games on the board, these teams are all trying to have the best opportunity to draft Cooper Flag. And how is that going to play into the cap? I can't wait to hear from both of you fellas on that. Wizards are battling the Jazz for the best chance. The Sixers, though, need to draw one of the top 6 picks in the draft, or else they owe their selection to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they want to lose more than anybody else, I would imagine. But other people can talk about, but I would imagine that look, it's up for debate. The Wizards coming off their 5th straight loss, 112-104 at home versus the Raptors on Monday. Jordan Poole went for 23, Bub Carrington 15, 11, and 6. And A.J. Johnson went for 17. A.J. Johnson getting more run. Keyshawn George sprained ankle.
Pussy motherfucker missed by the hook on the night that I came down there to see the Antonio. Man, missed the little last second shot, but A.J. Johnson wheels up, one of the youngest players in this draft.
Yeah, no, A.J. Johnson playing well. And to add trickiness, this is the first of a back-to-back. Wizards host the Pacers tomorrow night. Sixers coming off their 5th straight loss in 8 to 9 games, 112-99. They got 19 points from Justin Edwards and Jared Butler. And of course, then that would bring us to the pig milk play of the day. Justin Edwards over 2.5 threes at plus 105 is the pig milk play of the day, which is 76 and 66 plus 19.36 units. Justin McKelvey is Edwards over 17.5 points in his pocket. Billy Friedrich loving that, correlating with his action. So we have Quentin Grimes, who's averaging 22.2 points per game over the 20 games since coming over in the trade from Dallas. He rested Monday, played 35 on Sunday. And this is game 1 of a 3-game homestand. I don't have the injury reports up from the shoot around. I'll pull that up here in a second. But let's go over the line history, the cash flow, and then hand it over to our cappers. Because we got the Sixers game 1, and I should have put the Lakers for game 2, because we'll want, of course, to have Warren Time start the Lakers game. We want Brizzy to start the Sixers game. These Sixers right now are -3 at -107. They opened up -3 at -106. We've had a 1 cent move towards the Sixers. And then on the total here, we have a 230.5. It's -108 to the under. It opened up at 230, closed at 230.5. So a half-point move to the over. When we get to the cash flow here, sorry, let me just quickly move over to NBA. When we get to the cash flow, we have 56% of tickets and 61% of the cash on the Philadelphia 76ers. And it's a 50-50 proposition on the total, 48 and 50 on the over. Take it away for us, Brizzy. Do you trust your Sixers at Wells? Maybe trust is the wrong word. Do you have any interest in betting anything to do with the Sixers at Wells Fargo Center this evening against the lowly Wizards? Floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, I'll just start by saying this is a tough game to have confidence in either side. The Sixers have just been just as bad as the Wizards, maybe even worse. I mean, the Wizards over the last month, the Sixers have gone 1-9 in their last 10 games for the year, 12-22 straight up, 11-22 and 1 ATS at home. The Sixers have yet to cover as a favorite at home since January 4th in the calendar year. So things are looking pretty bad for Philly here. It could just be a play on the total here. As the Sixers in their last 5 games, they've allowed 129.8 points per game. The Wizards ranked 28th in defensive efficiency. Sixers right just above them. Washington top 5 in pace. Philly's going to be wanting to play up in pace. The Sixers totals have gone over 10 of the last 15 games. Washington's gone over 5 of the last 7. So for me, it would probably be Washington and Philly over 230. If you like Washington, I would probably say team total over. But the player prop that I was shocked that nobody in the chat talked about for this one is the starting point guard here for the Sixers. We made kind of some back-end jokes about him like a month and a half ago, but he's actually been playing really good. Jared Butler over 18.5 points and rebound, points and assists, not points and rebounds, points and assists, 18.5. Waiting to fire off in this one. Just want to monitor the Jeff Doughton news as he's like his backup, but revenge game spot for him, even with Grimes back in the lineup. I think this is a great spot for him. He's going over his points and assist prop and his points prop in 4 of his last 5 games. I really like the Jared Butler prop. It's probably like my best bet of this game. Him kind of getting thrown away from the Wizards, I would say development system is probably going to spark him up to play in this one, and he's been playing really good.
Possible look on the over 230, waiting the fire, if you're going to fire on Butler over 18.5 points and assists for Brizzy. We also have Rez Mob running hot again with his respect play of the day, as is Stacks, and Rez saying giving out 1 play per day for the world to use is tough sledding, but I like it. Let's hear from you. Wine time, bum fight, not of the highest quality. Wizards, Sixers.
Yeah, Jimmy, you know me. I usually like a good bum fight on these kind of cards, but this is a game that had no interest to me. You did a question about Cooper Flagg, man. Watching him play on Sunday against Baylor, at the horse track race, man, it was magic, man. That guy is going to be playing at such a high level at the NBA. He's NBA ready. Wherever he goes, this guy's he's going to be the rookie of the year next year. Whoever gets this guy is going to get a really good player. And if the 76ers are somehow get the number 1 overall pick, that would just be absolutely wild. But I'm very curious to see where he's going to end up going. Really like watching him play on Sunday. I think he's going to be really good at the next level. But nothing for me in this game. I saw Joe T say Jordan Poole threes. I looked at that over 2.5 minus 140. It's just too much juice for me, and I can't trust Jordan Poole. I just can't trust him anymore. So this is a clear stay away game for me, guys. Shout out to my guy G in the chat right there. It was good kicking with you in San Antonio. Glad you made it home safe, my guy. I've got a couple plays on this card, but this is not one of them. I will not be watching this game. No interest for me in this one.
And also, we just talked about the Elijah Zertucci appearance at Pub 5 as well. What a group.
We got to get Esteban back there next year too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And Emilio is so much fun, man. He doesn't need to be cashing 10-1 money line winners on the St. Peter's Peacocks. He's just money in the bank all the time. A shout out to the whole Zertucci family. And for the game, just so you guys know, it's a real simple situation that we're not wondering if anybody's going to be in. Smart, Middleton, George, Koulibaly, Brogdon, Bay, all out. And then the only questionable is Anthony Gill here, questionable. I don't think he's a bench piece. We have for the Sixers, Oubre, Walker, Maxey, Lowry, Drummond, all out. So the starting 5s are set, and they're weak. Very, very weak. Yes, Arthur Mead, Spenny is safe and good to go. No worse for wear, and everything will be taken care of. Any issues, with what went down, taken care of. That's what we do. We got Slaughter locking it all down and making sure that there's no worries for him, border crossing, anything like that, because we look after each other, and Slaughter has our back, and so yeah, everything's going to be all good. Just another chapter in the wild book of Spenny. Let's roll on.
Shout out to Jeff Slaughter, man. Great host, great friend, man. He did so much for us over the weekend, taking us places, taking us out to eat. It was fun just sitting in the studio with him at times, just capping with him, going over the card and stuff. I didn't get to do that last year, so it was really cool to actually get to kick it with my guy, Jeff. So shout out to Jeff.
Oh. Yeah, like how we get the real Jeff experience. Jeff hasn't drank or smoked since probably Christmas, so we get the real Slaughter experience.
Oh, yeah.
He's money in the bank, man. It gets no better than Mr. Slaughter. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board. 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the Toronto Raptors, 25-47, 9-26 on the road. The Brooklyn Nets, 23-49, 11-23 home at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Arthur Mead Jr., thank you so much for the dono. Thank you for the support, my friend. It means a ton to us. Our guy, Arthur Mead Jr., Canadian football just around the corner, Arthur. I hope you're ready to rock, man. Both teams 1-4 over their past 5. There are questions about whether Brooklyn is trying Is Brooklyn trying? We need 3 more wins for the season total over. Looked very good. They'd won 7-9 at one point, but those times are long gone. Let's start with the Raptors, though. 1-4 over their past 5, 101.5 possessions a game, but shooting the ball poorly as they have all year. 41.8% from the field and 30.5% from 3. And Rez Mamba, I'm ready to put lipstick on a pig. I got to make sure that I like the pig, DC Capra was magic, man. Absolutely magic. Thank you for welcoming me back. Hopefully you can come next year, DC. Brooklyn 1-4 over their past 5, 19th fastest pace in the league, 97.86 possessions a game. They had been shooting better as well, obviously, on their run. That's gone away, but still better than the Raptors, 43.4 from the field and 34% from 3. We know the situation too, which helps. Sharp and Johnson out for Brooklyn, clear. IQ, Pirtle, BI, Dick, and Boucher out for the Raptors. So we know the situation ahead of us. Get into the line history for this Raptors Nets spot. This totals at 215. It's slightly juiced to the over, 214.5 to 215. And when we get to the point spread here, we have the Brooklyn Nets minus 2.5 at plus 102. But they opened up at minus 1.5. So they went to 2 and then went to 2.5. The 2.5 was always juiced to the Raptors, and now it's gone more. So the Raptors are plus 2.5 at minus 112 right now, but we do have the move towards them. Look what happened with the cash flow here. We have 83% of the tickets, 83% cash on the over, and on the spread, 57 and 56 on the Toronto Raptors. The Brooklyn Nets and Raptors are separated by 2 games. Look, the better lottery odds that lead to the opportunity to draft Cooper Flag is the most important issue in this basketball game. The Nets are on their verge of their 5th straight loss. Their 5th straight 50 loss campaign. I thought they had lost 5 in a row. Where do I have a? Oh, this is further down. Sorry, I'm going to go into the Raptors first. Let's go with the Raptors here. The Raptors snapped their 4-game losing streak with 112-104 win at Washington on Monday, 17-16 over their past 33. And then, Pirtle and Quickly each go for 21. Neither will be playing here. They're not shooting the ball well. RJ Barrett was rested. He's missed 5 of Toronto's last 7 games. He went for 18 points on Sunday. But these teams are actively trying to lose. But RJ Barrett is playing. RJ Barrett's at the 2, so RJ Barrett will be in the lineup. Pirtle has not played consecutive games in a long time. I guess in like 3.5 weeks. So we knew that he wasn't going to be in the lineup. It's too bad because he's shooting 70.1% from the field over his last 9 games. But Mobo, Lawson, Battle will be in the lineup. Battle was the starter on Monday, played 27 minutes, 5th career start. Mobo went for 11 boards in 24 minutes, lost in 8 points in 23 minutes. Brooklyn comes in off their 4th straight loss in 7th and 8 games, 101 at home to Dallas on Monday. Claxton goes for 19, Johnson 17. D'Angelo Russell will miss his 3rd straight game Wednesday. This is game 2 of a 3-game homestand, and Russell's in the lineup. So my notes were from last night. It says may miss his 3rd straight. D'Angelo Russell is in the lineup. So D'Angelo Russell in the lineup for Brooklyn. RJ Barrett in the lineup here for the Raptors. And we got Lakers Clippers as our next 2 games after this that wine time will start. So we're still on the East Coast. So let's let Brizzy get this one started. Raptors Nets, take it away.
Yeah, I think this is the worst game of the card. I mean, I would have to lean towards Brooklyn as they've won each of their last 10 games as a home favorite. So Vegas has been pretty good with their numbers. Toronto's the better team on paper. And this number is just kind of like, what the fuck do they know that I don't know? The New Year's Eve day game, Toronto won by 17 points. This line doesn't really make sense. You look at the injury report, a lot of the studs for Toronto are in. Toronto is leaps and bounds better than the Nets. It could be just one of those spots, though, where the team with the worst record gets closer into odds with the loss here for Toronto. So I like Brooklyn here on the money line. I would probably say first half under 106, under 215. But just in general, betting these, what I call shitty games of the card, just tearing those off of my cards have been really good ROI booster for me for NBA. It's like why am I betting on games that don't matter?
It's so tricky at this time of year. We've talked about the back-to-back games where all these 4 teams are trying to lose. Wine time, your thoughts, Raptors, Nets.
Yeah, nothing for me sideways in this game, guys, but I'm looking at a player prop here. I'm actually looking at Keon Johnson here in this spot, over 12.5 points here, minus 115. I like this spot. I like Keon Johnson. I like watching him play. I think he's going to go out there and play. Both these teams really young still. Both these starting lineups they're throwing out there. Scotty Barnes, he's playing for Scotty. Yeah, Scotty and RJ are both playing for Toronto. D'Lo and Keon are both going to be playing for Brooklyn. Like Billy said, I don't want to have any action on this game sideways, and this isn't a full unit play for me by any means, but I'm going to give it out to you guys because I do like this play. I'm going to take Keon Johnson over 12.5 points, minus 115. I think he's going to be able to hit this. He didn't hit it in his last game. He hit in his previous, didn't hit in the one before, and then hit it again. So he's kind of been off and on these props, and I think he's going to have a good night tonight. So I'm going to take him over 12.5 points, minus 115.
Over 12.5 points at minus 115. I don't mean to get too cute here, and I'm having a problem getting it up. Let me just see if I can. But if Brooklyn wants to lose this game, they must keep D'Angelo Russell on the bench for as long as possible. My sums up with my 365. I'm not able to get the. Whenever I press this game, I don't get to it. I don't. Someone's up. Like it's not. Like I can see the odds for the simple stuff, but when I click on it, I don't get anything. I with D'Angelo Russell under PRA, that we know that they're trying to lose. And also there will be a decent amount of defending from Jamal Shed. You know, he can defend. I think I'm worried that I'm trying to. You know,
that's a good. I like that look though, Jimmy. Honestly, I mean, especially if he's only going to be playing 25 minutes today, he's still inconsistent with his minutes, especially if he doesn't start off hot. And if he doesn't start off hot, there's no way he gets there. I don't think, at least. But I mean, I like that look a lot, actually.
I want to know.
Pulling up what would you like to do? Because we're pulling up props, Edge IQ or whatever, and it says that the line opened up at 26.5. And it went down to 25.5. And he hasn't really been going over this too much. Like looking at his last 10 games against Indiana, 22, Boston 10, Boston 11, Chicago 4, Lakers 8, Charlotte 28. So it looks like the games that they don't give a fuck. Let's just say it like that. That the games that they're not really trying to win, he is going under. So you do have a very good merit of where that is. Could be one of those ones, though, where his assists are juiced. Under 6.5 assists is juiced towards minus 150 across the books. Could be points and assists, so you can knock out the rebounds. Could be one of those. Get a higher inflated line just in case if he does get hot, hit some bullshit-ass threes.
That's an interesting way of doing it. We do have action from Wine Time on Keon Johnson over 12.5 points. All right, let's head to West Coast teams playing out east here. And we'll start with Wine Time's Los Angeles Lakers. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Lakers 43-28, 50-19 on the road at the Indiana Pacers, 42-29, 24-9 at home at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Freeman's play of the day is the Lakers first quarter money line. Lakers first quarter money line. Von Polo also on these Lakers. In the next game, we're going to have Stacks play of the day number 1. Billy Friedrich says Miles Turner is going to eat. We got Lucky Power in the house. What up, Lucky Power? Let's get that cash, my man, and let's roll into this next spot. Lakers 2-3 over their past 5, coming off their third straight loss, 2-3 over their past 5. 14th fastest pace in the NBA over that stands at 99.10 possessions a game, 47.1 from the field and 38.2 from 3, shooting the ball well. Pacers coming together. Shout out to Carlisle. Does a good job. This team kind of seemed lost in the first half of the season. And he kept after him, and he's found him. Hallie was just not playing that well. The team wasn't playing that well. They're playing at the fastest pace in the NBA. Now, it's not – pace slows down this time of year. So they're playing 102.62 possessions a game. That's the fastest over the last 5 games. 48.9 from the field and 37.6 from 3. We have the Lakers right now -1.5 at +101. They opened up -1. This has gone all over the place. So Lakers open up -1 at -106. It starts getting juiced. It gets up to 1.5 around 6:45 this morning. Then it moves to 1, and then they become a dog. They become a dog at 8 this morning. They were +1. That +1 started getting juiced, and then they're back at the -1. And that -1 got up to -1.5, which looks like we're coming back to a 1. So there's been movement here. On the total, we just heard that our guy Justin McKelvey, he is moving on the over 235 in his pocket. I see 236 in the market now. This did open up at 235 at a pick'em. The initial move actually around 4 in the morning was towards the under. Then it starts moving towards the over, and it looks like even this book, this Sharp Offshore, will move to 236 at some point shortly. When we get to the cash flow here, and our guy Lil Domo said almost bet Lakers money line last night, but needed to talk it out first. He says Pacers at home, good money, but I don't know if I can fade LA, says our guy Lil Domo. We have 50. Let's go through all of the markets here and not just the spread. I think that would be the most helpful. From a spread perspective, 56% of tickets, 55% of cash on the Lakers. From a money line perspective, 63% of tickets and 66% of cash on the Lakers. And on the total, we have 72% of tickets and 73% of cash on the over. This is the first of a back-to-back for both teams. Lakers coming off their third straight loss, 118-106 at Orlando on Monday. They get 56 from Luka and LeBron. Luka put up 32 on Monday. He's gone for 30 plus in 5 of his last 6. We get to who's in and who's out. The game, Pacers are healthy, and maybe that's a huge part of why they've been successful of late. Kleber's out. LeBron James is a game-time decision, but I believe everybody expects him. Listed as probable. He's got left groin strain, so everybody expects him to make it'll be his third straight game. And then Rui Hachimura is also a game-time decision right now, and Rui is also probable. So looks like it'll be all hands on deck for this one. Luka Doncic in 18 games has, with the Lakers, 27.2 points, 8.6 boards, 7.8 assists. And LeBron has been very good in those 18 games too. 24.9 points per game, 8.4 assists, 8.1 boards. They play at Chicago tomorrow. Pacers coming off their 5th straight win, 7th in 8 games, 119-103 at home versus Timberwolves on Monday. And they're such a deep team this time of year. And they were last year as well. And they were single-handedly the team that was destroying the Garcia project because they play with such teamwork. The points per game plus or over unders are at a decent price, and everybody seems to step up, and they were playing at a fast pace and shooting the ball well and putting up 130 plus points per game. Obi Toppin shooting 46% from 3 in March. And you should hear Carlisle talks about him like it's his son. They play at Washington tomorrow, so they can put all their effort into this game. They don't need to care about tomorrow night. Take it away, one time. Your Lakers in effect. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, crazy. Lakers lost 3 straight games. LeBron's been back the last 2 games. That Bulls game, we were out Southtown. Didn't watch that game at all. Looked at that final score, just absolutely crazy. They got dog walked on that game. Indiana Pacers playing really well. I mean, we talked about this team all season long, what they did last year, going all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, going to the play-in tournament. When it matters most, these guys want to play, and they've got a really good starting 5. They've got guys that can score, guys that can defend like Nembhard. I like this Pacers team, and I think this is going to be a team that's also going to make a run in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. We'll see how far they go, but I do like this team. I'm on the Lakers here in this spot, though. Pacers are absolutely hot and on fire. I think this is going to be a letdown spot for them. It is at home, but Lakers losing 3 straight games. LeBron is going to be his 3rd game back. I think the chemistry is going to be a little bit more there. I couldn't tell you because I haven't watched the last couple of games because we were in San Antonio. I couldn't watch them too closely, but I know the Lakers aren't going to lose 4 straight games here. They're going to go out there. JJ Redick's going to have these guys ready to go. He's been pissed off in these press conferences and these post-game interviews. He's going to make adjustments. I also like the over in this too. I haven't moved on the over yet, but I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game. My official play, though, is the Lakers -1.5. I believe that's what it is still at my book. Let me refresh. Yeah, I'm getting a -1.5, -110 still. So I'm on the Lakers here in this spot. I think they're going to take care of business. They get rid of this losing streak. I like LeBron's assists too. I think he's going to get a lot of the guys involved, especially if Rui's coming back. I prefer Rui in the starting 5 over Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm not sure, though, what they're going to do with those two guys. I like Rui out there. Any of those guys can hit the three ball, and I think LeBron's going to be looking for that today. He's going to feed Luka a bunch. We're going to see a lot of passes down court to him. So I'm also looking at his assists. Haven't moved on it yet. I'll give out the assists in total most likely on Twitter. If I do move on it, I'm not going to move on it quite yet. There's still a couple of things I want to look at before I move on those. But I'm on the Lakers here, and you guys know me. It's rare that I come on here and give out the Lakers. Come on with the jersey. I'm giving out my Lakers today. They're going to take care of business. -1.5, -110. 54% of the market, 56% of the bets on the Lakers. Doesn't really seem too public for me. It is early in the day. I think some of these sharps hit it. That's why we saw some line movement, and maybe Lakers went to a dog because they thought LeBron wasn't going to play. But I fully anticipate that LeBron James and Rui Hachimura will be in this lineup today. And if so, they're going to take care of business. They're going to be a full squad out there. Pacers are a good team, but this is going to be a Lakers win here.
Can I ask you about this spot? And then I know that Brizzy's got to move on this spot too that I want to hear badly. But does tomorrow night's game at Chicago, they just lost at home to this team 146-115 in the second half of a back-to-back. You don't like, do they just not care? Maybe they don't. Why would they care? It's the Eastern Conference. Do they just not care what happened to the Bulls game? They don't give a fuck. They want to get right here against a good basketball team, and they're not going to save anything to get the Rebenga after being, embarrassed at crypto in their home court in front of their fans. Like, how did tomorrow's game at Chicago play into this cap?
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know. I think if LeBron was questionable going into today, maybe he's not going to play tomorrow. And I don't think if he plays tomorrow against the Bulls, I think the Lakers still take care of business regardless who's in the lineup for them tomorrow. They're going to be pissed off. I don't think they're going to overlook this game because I think this is a much more competitive type game. As long as LeBron plays in this one, I think they take care of business. But, I don't think they're really looking towards the Bulls yet. Yeah, they got smashed by them, but they're not really too worried about them. They're not going to see the Bulls in the playoffs. So I get that part, but I still think if LeBron doesn't play tomorrow, they'll still take care of business against the Bulls. But, yeah, that's it.
All right. I like it. We have wine time on the Lakers -1.5. Brizzy, you're making moves. Talk to us.
Yeah, the Pacers come into this game rolling, trying to secure the number 4 seed in the East, winning 5 straight games. The Lakers on the opposite end coming in on a 3-game losing streak. I feel like Pacers are going to be happy with LeBron returned back into the lineup last game, kind of got the rust off. The Pacers haven't been a team that you kind of really want to back off of the win, though. 16-25 ATS off of a win is definitely problematic. It only feels like a matter of time before they drop one of these games. The Pacers have allowed 131-plus points in 2 of their last 4. The Lakers scored 125 in the last matchup with AR-15 with 45, and now LeBron back. Luka is rolling. He's had 30-plus in 5 of his last 6. I think the edge is within the front court here as the Pacers are one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. And if the Lakers can attack the paint and get to the rim, that's really when their offense gets rolling. And these only 2-9 ATS in their last 11 games overall. I played the Lakers team total over 118.5 at -120 here. Player prop that stands out for me for this one. Talked about this one on Medicate Monday. Tyrese Halliburton, double-double. He's been rolling. He's back in fantastic form. He's had double-digit assists in 11 straight games. Lakers ranked 22nd in assists allowed per game. This should be a good spot for him to get his teammates open. And I wouldn't even mind his three-pointer prop because the Lakers allowed the 12th most three-pointers to the point guard position. I got to find my debit card.
Lakers team total over 118.5 for Brizzy. Lakers -1.5 at -110. I'm going to need some more time on this game. I'm a little surprised about the bullishness on the Lakers, and I respect it enough to have to sit back and recap it. So I'll take some time on it here. I thought that Bulls might be a spot tomorrow night where they want to give some payback, but feels like the all hands on deck nature of this matchup against the team that's 24-9 at home. It's a fascinating spot. Remember, Lakers 4 games under 500 on the road. It's going to take some more time for me here. Let's roll on to our next spot on the board. Brizzy will be right back here in a second. And we're starting with wine time anyways because we're talking about the clip show. Both LA teams on the East here right now. Out East, I guess Indiana is not quite East. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, LA Clippers 40-31, 15-20 on the road at the Knicks, 45-26, 24-11 at home. We're at Madison Square Garden in New York. We have Our guy Tone Miggins saying the Claw is back. Claw playing good basketball right now. At least 23 points in 6 straight double-doubles in the last 2. God, we had the magical year here up north, but for his sake and all of the negative stuff said about him, I hope he can just stay healthy. I just hope he can stay healthy and kind of change the storyline a little bit. Let's get into the line history and set this one up. We have this total at 218. It's a pick 'em at 218. I opened up at 217.5, so a slight move to the over. This is unlike a lot of these NBA cards that we've been getting, where we've been seeing massive line movement on totals. We have the Knicks +4, -110. They opened up at +1.5. So a huge move towards the LA Clippers, which takes us to what's going on with the shoot around and the expectation. And it's got to be Harden, I would imagine. Harden is a game time decision. It's funny. He said that his comment, I didn't even write it down. His comment was so ridiculous. It's like, I'm going to play, but if I'm not good, I'm not, or something like that. But there was like that break. He's like, I'm going to play, but if I may not. Like, it was like, just, oh God. Clippers 4-1 over the past 5, 17th fastest pace at 98 possessions a game, 51.5 from the field and 44.6 from 3. The Knicks 2-3 playing at 23rd fastest pace, 97.3 possessions a game, 44.7 from the field and 34.9 from 3. We'll hear what our experts have to say about the spot, but I would imagine it's a Harden situation that they know, that people know that Harden is out. Brunson's starting to feel better. They're not rushing him back. You have Mitchell Robinson and McBride also game time decisions right now. This second half of a back-to-back, and Robinson didn't play the first leg. So that was, Precious got to be the backup center. And then McBride here, we have McBride didn't play in Dallas. So, we should expect him to play here. Clippers had their 5-game winning streak snapped in that 103-101 loss at home to the Thunder on Sunday. So they've had 2 days in between heading to the East Coast, which is so crucial. And this is the beginning of a 4-game Eastern trip. Knicks are on the second half of a back-to-back after winning their second straight game, 128-113 at home versus the Mavericks last night. So it was a back-to-back with no travel. OG Anunoby went for 35. Cat had his first triple-double since January 2022. And this is the final game of a 3-game homestand. Wine Time Sports. What do you think about the clip show at MSG?
Yeah, Clippers looking good lately, man. It's kind of a team been on and off this season. When certain guys are in and out of the lineup, it looks like everyone's healthy. Norman Powell's finally healthy, even though he hasn't really been shooting the balls well since he's been back. Hasn't even really been able to break over those 20 points yet, which he's averaging per game. I like both of these teams right here. I like both their starting fives. Obviously, Jalen Brunson's not going to be playing in this one. They're resting him for the playoffs until he can get fully healthy. No need for him out there right now. Is McBride going to play? I see Campaign projected in the starting lineup. I'm not too sure. But this my website might not be updated quite yet. I like the Clippers in this spot no matter what. I wish I would have moved on it earlier. I saw it yesterday. Wanted to get on it now. I got on it this morning at -3.5. It's up to a -4 now at most books. I think the Clip Show take care of business here at Madison Square Garden. They're coming off a loss. You know what I mean? And I like what they're doing. I like their coaching staff they have over there. They went on and got Van Gundy to kind of do better on defense, and they're trusting Chris Dunn out there, and he's playing some really good defense, although he doesn't do too much offensively. He's a really good defender out there. I'm on the Clippers -3.5 here, -110. I think they take care of business. This is a Clipper team that I'm going to be backing probably while they're healthy. I like their starting five. I like their coaching staff that they have. And when they're cohesive as a unit, I think they're tough to beat when they're playing at their best. And I think that's what they're playing at their best right now. Coming off a loss, especially. Clippers -3.5, -110 all day here.
Clippers -3.5, -110 for Wine Time Sports. A correlated action with Justin McKelvey, who got early on the Clippers. He got the 2.5. Again, this has gone from 1.5 up to 4 right now. Justin McKelvey, Stacks play day number 1. We got back-to-back games with Stacks. Number 1, Clippers -2.5. We're going to hammer what a lot of believe is the best graphic in our show. We're going to hammer Stacks for game 2. So let's go right to Brizzy here. Brizzy, Clippers, Knicks, your thoughts?
Yeah, this isn't my favorite spot of travels. I mean, the Knicks are coming off a game last night, third straight home game without Brunson and backup point guard Miles McBride. I can kind of see why the market finds the Clippers appealing in this spot. The Clippers haven't played since Saturday. I mean, damn, dude, Saturday feels like for eternity ago. 8-2 straight up in our last 10 games, 6-3 ATS in our last 10 games. Both teams are good defensively. On paper, I do like the under here. The under 6-3-1 in the last 10 games for Knicks. I think that's the best bet in this game. It's probably the under 217.5, under first half 106.
Unders for Brizzy. Are you waiting on it or have you moved on it?
I have 3 bets on this card, and this is not one of them.
Okay, so but Brizzy leaning towards the under at this one. Kong says Stack's graphic is pretty dope, but I think my graphic gives his a run for its money for real. But this game we have correlated glory because we have the prime cut. The prime cut play of the day is the Clippers -3.5. Wine time on the Clippers -3.5. Stacks play of the day on the Clippers -2.5. So the squad running with the clip show here against the New York Knicks, who are on the second half of back-to-back. So fascinating breakdown for the LA side. So we have wine time on the Lakers -1.5. Brizzy on the Lakers team total over 118.5. And then wine time on the Clippers. Brizzy leaning towards the under, and Sweaty Butcher and Stacks on the Clippers. 2 games left here on our card. And the next spot on the board, give me a second here, is the Milwaukee Bucks and Denver Nuggets. So Stacks play of the day number 1 is the Clips -2.5. Play of the day number 2 is the Denver Nuggets team total over 114.5. That is Stacks number 2. And that is, again, the team total for the Nuggets over 114.5. Shout out to our guy, Justin.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
So Giannis is out. Portis out. Jericho Sims out. And Dame Lillard, we don't know how long he will be out for.
Not looking good.
No, it's not looking good, but they haven't said anything like season over. I don't know any. We'll talk about, what the affliction is. It's deep vein thrombosis in the calf muscle. And I don't know. I don't know how long that. It's blood clot in the leg. Another term for it. I don't know. I don't know. We know the blood clot in the shoulder. Wemby's gone, for months and months and months. So I don't know the situation here for Dame, but they've just said there's no timetable, which likely means he's done for the season, but that's just not being confirmed at this point. We know that Giannis is out of the lineup, and let's get into the line history, last 5 game stats, and set this one up. We have Milwaukee right now, line moving heavily towards Denver. We know, there's no Jokic, but doesn't matter. So for the Nuggets, they've gone from -4 all the way up to 8.5, and then back to 7.5. At one point, it was deemed too much. Jokic here is a game time decision, but I think we all know. Oh, he's listed doubtful now. Okay, so no one thought he was coming back tonight. Anyways, it was not part of the plan. Aaron Gordon is supposed to be back here in the lineup, as listed as questionable. So he missed the Monday game. We expect him to go. We know that Peyton Watson is going to get a ton of run in the game. DeAndre Jordan listed as the starter right now, but we expect Peyton to get the run there. Christian Brown is probable for Wednesday's game, so that we do have that. So Brown will be in. Billy Freak says Gordon playing. From what I studied last night, I thought Jokic is out, Gordon is in. But again, we'll need to. BJ says Jokic is probable. That's wild. That's wild. Because I saw clips of him saying Jokic will return at some point during this homestand. So this is game 2 of the homestand. So I did not think he was going to be in. I thought the move was more about Giannis, but Jerry Davis says movement was Joker was playing. It must be. I thought the movement was Giannis being out. Look, now Saturate saying Jokic is doubtful. Again, I went into this cap being very confident that Jokic was going to miss his 6th straight game. Again, I've got him listed as probable, as doubtful still. But this is crucial information, so I'd love if the chat could get some confirmation. I thought this move was purely on Giannis, nothing to do with Jokic, but we shall see. Milwaukee and Denver both 2-3 over the past 5. Milwaukee playing at the 29th fastest pace, 94.7 possessions a game. They're slowing it down, and they're shooting the ball poorly, 44.8 from the field and 34.5 from 3. Denver, 99 possessions a game, middling, 15th in the league, 48.3 from the field and 35.4 from 3. So on ESPN, he's probable. On RotoWire, he's doubtful. We'll get more information on all of this here, as we go through. The Bucks come in off having their 2-game winning streak snapped, 108-106 loss to the Suns on Monday. We talked about Dame. We talked about the thumb surgery for Jericho. We talked about Portis on the suspension. And this concludes a 5-game trip, which feels like they could just mail it in this spot. Let's get over here with Brizzy. One time, I'm going to be back here in a second. The Nuggets opened up their 5-game homestand with a 129-119 loss at home to the Bulls on Monday. Denver stayed in the top 3 without having Jokic over the last 5 games. They're 2-3 over that stretch. Jamal Murray's just been a monster. He's been so good. 33.5 points per game over the last 2. And Peyton Watson started in place of Gordon on Monday and scored a career high 24 points. Brizzy, take it away. Your thoughts for Bucks. No, I didn't give the cash flow, though. We pull up the cash flow for this spot. It's 50-50 on the spread, but 62% cash on the Nuggets, 90% tickets, 88% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Brizzy. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Jokic coming back in the lineup. I really do like the spot for the Nuggets, regardless if he's in or out. I hate using the term they're due, especially when breaking down games from a gambling perspective. But I mean, not covering their last 8 games as home favorites, I feel like that isn't a trend that's going to keep up. And I think this spot in altitude without Lillard being in the lineup, I feel like the Bucks have already gotten their get-up spot games without Lillard in the lineup. They got a couple of wins those first couple of games. I don't think they're really too excited for the last game of a road trip here. Playing in altitude after traveling for about a week and a half, I mean, this seems like a Denver spot written all day. Line open up at 6 all the way up to 8. I end up betting it at 6. I wouldn't mind it as a parlay piece. 8's kind of pushing it, but I think Denver wins this game by blowout. Milwaukee team total under 108.5 if you're looking for a straight bet. I like Denver as a parlay piece as well. If you're looking for a parlay piece today, maybe it's one of those college basketball games.
Yeah, I could see that. And we have BJ's best bet on the Nuggets -5.5, 5 units. Can we get everybody in chat to kind of see if they can do some quick research on whether their expectation on Jokic here tonight? Take it away, wine time.
Your chick's in the line.
Say what, Brady?
Your chick's in the line.
I was going to say, how are the Denver Nuggets minus? I know Giannis is out, but how are they a -8 without Jokic in the lineup? Is my question. I mean, if Jokic isn't in this lineup, I still think they're going to smash him because I think this line movement tells you everything you need to know. I had this circled last night when I was looking over this game. Wanted to move on it, but it's all the way up to an 8 now. I can't do it, but is this a spot since Giannis is out? Kyle Kuzma points maybe. Is this a spot for him potentially? I think his points right now is at over 18.5, and he hasn't really been able to get over that. But I mean, he's going to be the number 1 option out there, I think, today for them. So might look at some Kuzma props, but I'm not going to take anything in this game because I really don't know who's going to play. I'm surprised that Giannis got ruled out. I thought Jokic was in the lineup, and now when I'm looking at the starting projection lineup, it looks like DJ's out there for him, which is crazy. Maybe Jokic gets ruled in. Everyone's kind of saying different things. Some people are saying it's looking like he's going to play. Some are saying game time decision. I'm going to stay away from this spot in general just because I don't know what I don't know who's going to play in this one for the Nuggets. So I'm going to stay away from this.
Didn't you think that Giannis was going to be in?
I thought Giannis, yeah, that's originally when I capped this game, I had Giannis in the game. I'm surprised he got ruled out. It was less than an hour ago. I thought this line opened up at -4. When I looked at it last night, I circled it -4, -110. I was like, like, this seems like a Denver spot bet. And then when I woke up this morning up to a -6, I was like, you know what, maybe there's still a little bit of value on it, but -8, just because Giannis is out. And like I said, I don't know if Jokic is playing. To me, if I'm looking at this line and I'm not looking at the injury report, Jokic isn't even, he should be playing in this game.
And Billy's seen him listed as probable in multiple locations, barring any setbacks. So Dougie Wise says without Lillard and Antetokounmpo, the Bucks have nothing. So, all right. So, any official action from either of you gentlemen on this one at this point?
Yeah, I moved on the Denver Nuggets -6. I mean, if you wanted to pay the juice down, you can shop around odds, but I would probably use Denver as a parlay piece at this point. With something, if you like something on the NIT tournament tonight, both those lines are kind of juice. So probably use Denver as a parlay piece, but hey, Denver -6. We're doing the show at 2:00 in the afternoon. That line's gone.
I feel you. And we do have 7.5s now. So it's started to move back a tiny bit. Stephen Miller says live bet situation. Saturated like in Brown, puntos either way, and says DeAndre Jordan props if the Joker sits. Let's move on to our final spot here on the show and on the board. And again, this is the calm before the storm. The next 2 weeks starting tomorrow on the show are they're gonna be a battle. Major League Baseball back in effect, and I can't stress enough the importance of getting off to a good start in baseball. There's no more difficult battle than Major League Baseball in capping, I believe. 15 games,
especially midsummer.
Yeah.
Well, when Sharpie back then, I just stopped capping the baseball games. Started Taylor Sharpie. My ROI has gone up.
No, there's different ways of handling it for sure. But 15 games a day for 6 months with the analytics. Tomorrow is a very, very important day, and you don't want to be sitting here in July. Now you do have WNBA, but in July, if you are not succeeding in baseball, well, then you're not succeeding in gambling. Let's roll into our final spot on the board here, 10 p.m. Eastern. Boston Celtics, 53-19, 29-7 on the road at Phoenix Suns, 35-37, 23-13 at home. We're at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. Both teams playing very well. Who would have thought the Suns would go ahead and go for the sweep of the homestand? Who would have thought that the chance for the biggest score for me this year, it's possible that things could change, but would be the Kings falling out of the play-in. The Kings are about to start a 6-game Eastern trip. And I know the Blazers have lost 2 in a row. The Blazers do get a chance to play the Kings. They're 3.5 games back right now. It's not impossible. It's unlikely. But it's not impossible for the Blazers to still slide in and not be the Suns who fall out. Not impossible. Saturate says, how bad is Tatum hurt? He's not going to play tonight. Doubtful to play tonight. But they said it was a much better situation than what they thought. Let's get into the line history and who's in and who's out. Well, first off, we came into the game thinking that, the shoot around's going on, but we came in thinking that Tatum was out. He's listed as a game time decision, but I believe this will say doubtful, unlikely to play. So Tatum not going to be in the lineup, and then Bradley Beal, of course, out. So it's an interesting situation. And we know what's going on with Phoenix. Is KD is stepping up and playing his best basketball right now. Nasty Nate says Celtics smash. Celtics second quarter. Boston 5-0 over the past 5 games. These 2 teams are 2 of the slowest 3 teams in the NBA over the last 5 games. Boston's taking it way slow, down to 92.9 possessions a game. But their efficiency is spectacular. 48.6 from the field, 37.1 from 3. Suns are playing slow, 95.6 possessions a game. Same deal with them. KD's going off. Their efficiency's, high, 47.9 from the field and 38.9 from 3. Let's get into the line history here for this one. On the side, we have Boston -5 at -106. They open at 3.5, 1.5 move towards Boston. The last half point move happened about 45 minutes ago. And from a total perspective, we have 221 -111 to the under. Opened up at 222.5, and now at 221 flat, and 220.5s on their way. And you see a lot of 220.5s out there. Let's get to the cash flow here. We have 38% of tickets and 33% of cash on the Suns. So the public's backing the Celtics, and the line's moving towards the Celtics. 77 and 76 on the over. Rich O is Dallas not Suns. Dallas, yes. Dallas not Suns. Dallas, yes, to make the playoffs. Two-team. Oh, Dallas no, Suns yes. Okay, that's what you mean. To make the playoffs, two-team parlay plus 1,900. That's a nice look, Richo. I think you're in business. Markel on the Suns money line. I think anybody who's got the Suns to make the playoffs should be very, very pleased at how they've been playing lately. But I don't think you can talk about the Celtics who won 11 of 12 and 6 straight, coming off that Kings victory over the Kings 113-95. I don't think you can talk about without talking about Pritchard. What an absolute monster. He's found his role. Good. He's stuck to the job that he's been given. He's never complained, only kept his game, elevated his game year after year and seemingly month after month. And God, he's playing so good. And we're not talking about that 43.103 game against Trailblazers. He's just every game. He's accountable for everything he does. Double digits in 6 straight. Game 4 of a 6-game trip. Suns go for the sweep of their 5-game homestand tonight. Booker hit that game winner. 20-footer, 1.7 seconds left against the Bucks. KD went for 38 and 7 threes. He's averaging 40 over his last 2 games. And over those games, 11 of 18 from 3. And Bradley Beal nowhere to be found with a strained left hamstring. They come in off that 108-106 victory. So here we go. Wine time, our last spot on the board. Celtics Suns, take it away.
Oh, yeah, this is a Boston Celtics smash spot. They're going to beat these guys by 10-plus points here. Gave it out earlier on Twitter at the -4.5. I like that. I went to -5 here. Boston's been playing out without one of their stars, it seems like, all season long, whether it's KP, whether it's Tatum, Brown, Holiday, missed a lot of bit of time. Doesn't matter who's out for this team. Other guys step up. Like you said, they got a guy named Peyton Pritchard who's playing lights out basketball right now. He's shooting with confidence. When that kid's confident, he can make every single shot on the floor, it seems like at times. So he's great to have off the bench. And I do expect Drew Holiday to be in this one. I see him as questionable. I'm not sure if he's going to play in this one. I would like to have him out there because I would like to have him guarding one of those two really good offensive players over there for the Suns, because that's all they're going to have going for them tonight here in this spot. There's only so much those two are going to be able to do against the NBA champions right here in the Boston Celtics. This team is deep. They've got a really good head coach over there. This team's playing really good basketball. I don't expect them to lose this game by any means. I expect them to go out there and hit these guys in the mouth right away, early and often throughout the whole game here. I was thinking about a Boston first half as well. Might end up moving on that, but as of right now, I'm on Boston -4.5, -110. They're going to take care of business here against the Phoenix Suns.
Celtics -4.5, -110 for a wine time. Brizzy, your plan of attack, Celtics Suns footprint center.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You're going to get two completely different opposite breakdowns. Nobody's going to want to bet against Boston right now with them winning 6 straight, 11 over the last 12. No Tatum in the lineup tonight. Boston's gone 5-1 straight up without him in the lineup this season. Like Wine Time said, very, very deep roster. They swept the Suns last season. And this season, damn near as well, 4-1 straight up, ATS in our last 5 meetings head-to-head. But something in my gut tells me that this is a Phoenix spot. They've won 4 straight. This is a 5th game of their home span. They really have – I feel like their winnings really contributed to their recent lineup changes, bringing on former 2023 national championship winner Colin Gillespie from the G League in the starting lineup, and then putting Ryan Dunn in the starting lineup. He's very good at defense. The eye test is there for me. Phoenix keeps on putting money in my pocket. I'm not going to look at their season stats. I'm just going to look at what they've done for me in the last week, and they've been putting money in my pocket. And why would I go away right now? I mean, this is a 4th game of a 6-game road trip for the Celtics without their star player. JB's coming off like a week's worth of rest. I think this is a Phoenix spot. I think Phoenix is going to win this one outright. I took Phoenix +5.
And Brizzy on the other side with the Suns plus the 5. Well, I have a lot to sit with here in NBA. I didn't come to the table with action in the association, so I've got a lot to sit with. Let's review our action from our cappers here on screen. We have the Wizards Sixers is a tricky spot to get us started here. Let me just get off of this quickly. Wizards Sixers is a tricky spot here to get us started. Oh, that's the Pubapalooza one. Let's just move over here. Over 230, a lean for Brizzy. Butler over 18.5 points and assists. I'm also going to go over the action from the cappers in the chat. So we didn't move on that one. But Wine Time gets his card started with Keon Johnson over 12.5 points in Raptors, Brooklyn. And I really want to take some more time with that D'Angelo Russell under PRA. That's Brizzy told us it's gone from 26.5 down to 25.5. Jermaine saying get some Jared Butler stock. Philly game a shootout. We've seen it move up a half point. The teams are playing Philly's shooting from 3 pretty well, but Washington shooting so poorly, but playing so fast. It's a mess. As we move on, Lakers for wine time -1.5, -110. Brizzy on the Lakers team total over 118.5, -110. Wine time on the Clippers -3.5. Sweaty Butcher on the Clippers -3.5. Brizzy talked about the unders in this one, Clippers Knicks, which I want to take a closer look at. There was a lean for Brizzy. And then we also have Stacks Play Today #1 from Justin McKelvey being the Clippers -2.5. And he tweets all that out. You must be following him on X to get that information when he pops it out, because he's beating line moves each and every day that we're on. Brizzy's on the Nuggets -6 at -110. That got up to 8. It's sitting at 7.5 right now.
You could still get -156 through -180 if you market shop. It's a pretty drastic line of difference depending on which book you have. I'd say if you wanted to take the 6, I wouldn't mind it as a parlay piece.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's important. Markel doesn't know that our guy Wine Time has Twitter. I'm going to pop it in the chat here in a second. Wine Time on the Celtics -4.5, going straight up with Brizzy, who's on the Suns +5. A lot to think about and a lot to talk about. You guys are a couple of class acts, man. So much fun rocking with you fellas in person. It was just such a, it's not often in life that your expectations constantly get exceeded, and that's what happens hanging out with you fellas and everybody down in Texas. Wine Time, my man. I'm gonna pop first Justin's X handle. Now pop both of your X handles here in the chat. Please support and follow our guys. Please take it away, Wine Time. Final words on the show, my man.
Yeah, Jimmy, always a good time breaking these NBA cards down with you. My guy Billy B right there. Good luck to both of you guys on your action day and the rest of the week. And yeah, you already touched on it, man, what time it was in San Antonio. Can't wait for next year. Shout out to everyone in the chat that's out there watching all the time. Appreciate you guys. Nothing without you guys. You're who we do this for. So give me a follow on Twitter, Wine Time Sports over there. I'm trying to get to 1K followers. I think I'm around like 750 right now. So help me get there, guys. Let's get there. Appreciate you guys as always. I'll be breaking down the NBA card with Jimmy on Friday. Really looking forward to that one. But first, we got to win today. So I'll see you guys on Friday.
Our guy, Wine Time Sports. Brizzy, my man, I'm going to pop your X handle in the chat. Any last words about the card that you have, or about Pubapalooza, or anything you would like, my man?
We'll keep it strictly business, put some money in people's pockets here. In the NBA tonight, LA Lakers team total over 118.5, -120. Denver Nuggets -5.5, or you can get the 6. Use as a money line parlay piece if you don't want to pay the juice for a straight bet. And then last play of the night is going to be Phoenix Suns +5. It's one of those ones. It's the bet that you don't want to make is usually the ones that you don't end up like sweating too much. And man, I gotta trust my gut here with the Phoenix Suns here. I think they keep it rolling. They're playing for something right now. Boston Celtics are just chilling. And then NHL play of the day, I guess the one after right up for Dub Club. Don't have to get the Dub Club if you watch the show. Dallas Edmonton over 6 goals tonight -120. That line is moving drastically. You can get on FanDuel 5.5 -140 with a little bit of juice, but I think there's gonna be a lot of goal scored in that game tonight.
Yeah, and do we have? It's got to be. I got to click on this and see that it's the Smith confirmed. It's got to be. I mean, the move. It can't just be Sharps. Can it be just Sharps? No, it's still Ottinger projected. So it's just sharp action moving to the Oilers 20 cents.
I like Dallas from a money line perspective, but I also think it could be one of those games that you're gonna be looking at yourself at final score 4-3 and think, why the fuck didn't I just bet the over?
Well, yeah, and the Stars just played 4 straight games. I went to overtime before, winning 3-0 over that weak Wild squad. Now weak without Kaprizov and Eric Snack, but great stuff, my man. Get that cash, Brizzy. Rock with Brizzy. I popped his X handle here in the chat at getting_bills_. Brizzy, thank you for all you do for us, my man. It means the world, and it was a lot of fun running with you.
Let me throw out these tournament picks, though, because I might not be on the show for basketball purposes for the rest of the week. Women's basketball tournament Friday night. South Carolina is going to cover the spread. If you wanted to go with the over, don't mind the over. UCLA is a good money line parlay piece. Then on Saturday, I think TCU is going to be worth the upset. They got Notre Dame the first time in the Cayman Islands. I think they can get the job done again. Texas don't mind them as a money line parlay piece. UConn's probably going to be the team that's going to get the most amount of future odds shifted with the Juju Watkins being out for the season. The youngest person probably that ever signed with Nike. KU and USC under 140.5. Those are going to be the picks for Friday and Saturday for this women's tournament.
I love it, Brizzy. I love it. Thank you for hooking us all up each and every day. That is the women's tournament here from our guy, Brizzy. Let's do a quick review of all of our action here and get that money. We're back in business, and the heat comes on. It's going to get hot tomorrow, man, with MLB back in business. We also have our guy Robert Cherry talking about plus 20 unit year for him expected coming in MLB. Time to lock in. We have Sir Mackey loves pie. Lakers minus 1.5. Justin McKelvey stacks play day number 1. Clippers minus 2.5 play the day number 2. Nuggets team total over 114.5. Billy Friedrich pig milk play the day. Justin Edwards over 2.5 3-pointers and plus 105. 9 legacy on Oilers, Bruins, Lakers minus 1.5. UC Irvine minus 4.5. And Raptors money line. Gorky gave us Dimitrov Pegula money line and Cleveland State money line. Mike Wilkerson on Grimes, Quentin Grimes over PRA. Dougie Wise on free bands play of the day. Lakers first quarter money line. Then we have AM on Devils money line, Stars money line, Bruins money line. Says would have played the Canucks but missed the number of plus 105. God, it's going to be an interesting night of hockey. Barry Smith on the Islanders money line. Also, he liking the Bruins. Von Polo on the Lakers. Richo INC got that UC Irvine plus 900 in his pocket. Dougie Wise got the Clippers minus 150 on the money line. Nate Dogg on Vancouver money line. Besser for a goal and Hughes for an assist. Quinn Hughes is just, I just never seen anything close to him before. And I guess the people feel that way who watch Cale Makar every night, but this is, I mean, the Canucks have been around for what, 52 years now, but this is the best hockey player by far. I mean, that he's that much better than Pavel Bure. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm saying that out loud. It's just crazy. Sorokin confirmed for the Islanders, so looking forward to that game tonight. In NHL, Gogster's got no goal in the first 9.5 in Canucks Islanders. I'm on the Islanders minus 1. I waited and waited and waited. Would have bet it last night, but I kept waiting, and I should have waited longer. I didn't bet till like 9 this morning, 9:30 this morning, because I was like, okay, well, it looks like this line's not moving. And
Edmonton was free last night. Shouts to the Oilers.
So what, my man?
I said Edmonton was free money last night. Shouts to the Oilers.
That was impressive. Your first game without McDavid, you step up. Right now, the Canucks are now the favorite. Just wild. Canucks are now the favorite. Wild. I mean, there's so much to go over here. Saturday said, should I preemptively blind lock in Detroit first 5 tomorrow? I have no problem with those first 5 sides. I'm not cutting first 5 sides out saturated, but first 5 totals are cut. First 5 unders are cut.
You're getting too sharp on that shit, dog. It's not the same market as it used to be like 2 years ago, where we used to be slamming on like 4.5, 5.5, like first 5 unders. Like that shit's too sharp nowadays. They'll have it at like 3.5, be like the last at bat in the fucking bottom of the 5th, and it fucking shit goes over, and you're like, what the fuck? This looked like a dead on.
I can't tell you how many times that happened to me last year, and like I would.
Shouts to Sharpie. Sharpie's been putting me on the first 3 markets in the Tokyo Series thing. He says that the first 3 markets are a little bit more predictive of like you can kind of see a starting lineup the first time and kind of get a better.
Yeah. I love the first 3 market, but the juice, you're paying more juice.
The juice does not make sense sometimes. Of like in that game, like the first 3 for the Dodgers was higher than the first 5 in the money line. So I basically said we're going to go through the first round of the order pretty good. So
that 40 cents minimum on each side, or 40 cents minimum of juice. I mean, that's it's like you're betting live. It's worse than betting. Like first 3s are, I like them a lot too. They can be tricky with the amount of juice here. No, Robert Cherry, not on this road trip. I'm going to fade them every game, as I said on this road trip. The only games the Canucks can win on this road trip will be in overtime or a shootout. They're gonna, I said, you bet against them in every game, and I took it back because I shouldn't have said guarantee, but I guarantee you have a positive ROI. I still stand by that. Gogster on the Devil Stars moneyline parlay. I'm going to add the Stars -1 here to my action. Congratulations to Oilers stepping up without McDavid in game 1 and twice now back-to-back games without Draisaitl. Do it again. Prove it to me. And I've been betting against them. I am now, though. Bruins, Ducks. I'm on the Ducks. All these lines are going against me. And, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that in NHL. It's the only sport I'm okay with. Morgan Spooner on Kent State +5. Taint play of the day on UAB money line. Morgan Spooner also on Illinois State, but he's waiting for the 2. The best bet for BJ is the Nuggets -5.5. And that, Jermaine, the fifth inning was like ruining my life. How about that? Fifth inning was ruining my life, and I've gone over all the numbers, and I can see I'm a positive ROI gambler on full game totals, both of them positive ROI. These first 5 unders, I have this sickness, this need to bet, especially when bad pitchers are playing and everybody's on the over. Like, I just let it go. I'm just gonna let it go. I can still be on the full game unders, but just let go. Don't try to be smarter than anyone else. Don't try to be better than anyone else. Just do what works. Just do what works for you. That's why you track your actions. Just do what works for you. Don't be cute. Just do what works. It's a business. Nasty Nate says, I feel you were right. Nate, Bruins smash comment coming tomorrow. Look, it's possible, but in this sport, I'm not afraid to go toe to toe. Ross Pitts, Tigers first 5 tomorrow +115. Again, the first 5 sides I have no problem with. Thank you guys. Jermaine says, what about tonight? Jermaine, for tonight, for me, I'm going for scores as I do this time of year. I'm on the Islanders -1 at +146. I should have waited, probably got a +158. I'm on the Ducks -1 at +130. If nobody's due for shit. Bruins aren't due. Due for what?
Due for Elvis.
I'm just not gonna. Okay, Nasty Nate. It's so funny. If not, I'll just show up after the NHL segment.
I love Nasty.
That's funny. And then I'm going to add the Stars -1. All right. And Robert Chase says, I'm with you on the Ducks. Figured you'd take the Ducks as well. I was on the fence with you on the Blackhawks. I was trying to see where I can take them in this spot. I tried so hard to get on the Blackhawks. I can't get there. That is our show for today. This is the calm before the storm. Thank you guys all in the chat. Nasty Nate, what a quality dude Nasty Nate is. Like, it just, it's every year you run with him, you like him more. Like, he's more fun. He's such all these cappers that you run with, every time you run with him, you like him more. Like, the bonds get stronger, and it's what a crew we run with. Robert Cherry, Morgan Spooner, Rez Mob, Ross Pitts, Pub Sports TV. We have a 24-hour TV channel that we'll be talking about a lot over the next little while. That we'll want you guys to subscribe to. 24-hour Pub Sports TV coming here. Sir Mackey, Christopher Comatini, Justin McKelvey, Chris Warren, Mr. Saturated, Markel, Joe Todero. Wasn't Joey T so much fun to rock with? King Ooh says he'll definitely make it next year. Thank you guys all so much for all that you do for us. AOD, all of you guys. Rich O. Thank you guys for all that you do. Dougie Wise, Lil Domo, shout out to Chill Will, Uncle Mike, shout out to all you guys. Gorky, thank you for all that you do for us. Zverev Dimitrov, Moneyline says Gorky. Jerry Davis, Robert Franklin. We've got nothing without you guys. So from all of us at Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter, and all of us, thank you guys so much for all of the support. And Justin says it best. Let's start capping baseball. Get ready for baseball. Brizzy, you're the man. Roll that shit, light that shit, smoke it. There's money to make, and we must get it. We must make it. Los bookmakers. Get that fucking cash.
From down south, where we ride on clouds. From down south, where we ride on clouds. From down south, where we ride on clouds. From
Yeah.
down south,
Yo,
we ride
yo.
the trail.
Pub Sports Radio's the crew, that's a fact. We all about bread, making bank accounts fat. Who the hell is that? LJ from the H. I stack green like Boston, shout out to Nasty Nate. From down south, where we ride on slab. 420 highway smoking with that boy Gabby Cap. Fly out to Denver for the Nugget fans so we can smoke out J Money, cause you know that's our mans. Us against the bookies, put money in our pockets. Fly out to Vegas, meet up with Ski Profit. Hit the sports books, we got money to stack. Can't forget them college picks with that boy Connor Mack. Call up Dutch boy, cause you know we stay fresh. What's the strain of the day, homie? Watch the daily sesh. Roll up a paper plane, light up a sparkly. If I need a strikeout prop, we gon' holler at Sharpie. Cross over to the West Coast and holler at fam. If we talking NBA, I got to hit Trot Wham. Always tapping in, money's what we trust. If I need a team total, gotta hit Nut Flush, cause I'm fishing for bait. Smoking straight to the chest. Gotta fly out to the beta, homie, Moose Money Bets. From bookies to West, cash checks what we do. Cause I'm who banging with Boss and the OG Ragu. If we need it under, I gotta hit Noli Knowles. If I land on my prop, I gotta holler Big Show. Now we back to the East Coast for Nicky Fish Tanks. We watching UFC, keeping money in the bank. Die Hard and Danny Betts and the whole damn crew. Nick's the only guy I know can drink a brew or buy his shoe, but hey, that's what he do. It is what it is. I can't forget that Jersey boy, that homie Billy Briz. If I need an ice pick, I go to Ontario, holler my ice guy, Ian Bobano. And if I need some advice in trying to cash, tune into Peter Loshak and Jimmy the Bad. And hit that like button, make sure that you smash it. The famous words of Razor Sharp Picks, cash it. I'm on my poker shit, stacking my chips. If we ever lose a bet, man, we never gon' trip. Cause I'm Mike Knight M, Pimp Slap Player of the Day. Ron Crawford spreadsheet, what more can you say? It's how we stay paid each and every day. Can't forget about the producer, say hey Jose. Tell your mother, your father, your son, and your daughter, cause nothing's going down without the Don Jeff Slaughter. All you low baggers, hold it down in the chat. If you missed all that, the remix will be back. Yeah.